run. No, he'll throw, intercepted. He's got an army in front of him. On his feet, he will go into the end zone.
We take great pride in playing between the walls of the stone castle.
Just got laid out with that C-bolt. Now shotgun formation, 25 to 30. He's got the quarterback to beat. He cuts back here, boom, wall of maroon jerseys.
Hey, I think it just shows what kind of football team we have, the character of our kids.
Hello and welcome to an exciting week here. The Toyota Game of the Week brought to you by
your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
We're here at Death Valley Carl Matherly Stadium. Jay Santos alongside Mark Peace for another edition of CMS Game of the Week. And really, when you look at this, it's our first border war, and only border war this year. Gate City, with all of its tradition, coming across the state line to Tennessee to take on the Sullivan South Rebels.
A soggy border war, if you will, Jay. These two teams met last year over at Gate City. It was all South, 41-14. And Heath Hayden, the quarterback for the Rebels, got some significant playing time in that game because of the injured Aaron St. Clair, and played very, very well in that game. Gate City coming back into Tennessee this year. They hope to get some revenge tonight.
Well, and this has been a battle really of Jekyll and Hyde teams. When you look at Sullivan South, they started the year off 0-2, big win over Daniel Boone. And for Gate City, they lost their opener, but a huge win last week against Tazewell.
What a weird year so far, the first two games for Gate City. Shut out against a very good Richlands team, albeit 31-0 to open the season a couple of weeks ago. Then they turn around last week and play Tazewell, and they shellac them 41-0. So what kind of Gate City team we're going to have tonight? You know, we know Gate City football. They're going to play tough defense. They're going to run the football. They're going to possess the football. So that's what we're going to get out of the Blue Devils tonight.
Well, that's what you're going to get out of Coach Housewright, Coach Haney. They're starting to get that offense clicking. It has to start with the quarterback, Heath Hayden, but they go as that offensive line goes.
And the offensive line is playing very, very well, and that enabled Hayden to have over 100 yards both running and passing. But I tell you what really sparked him, Jay, last week was Cody Medlin's kickoff return when they were down 6-0. 93-yard kickoff return. That's a school record, and that really got the team fired up, and they went on to a relatively easy 41-16 victory against Daniel Boone.
Well, both teams come in very good defensively. Sullivan South, even though they've turned the ball a lot over on offense, and Coach Haney wasn't bashful about saying they've got to cut that out, but their defense has been outstanding. Forced 5 turnovers last week against Boone. Gate City forced 4 turnovers on defense against Tazewell.
And good to see for Sullivan South. If you know, when Sam Haney knows anything coming over is from defensive coordinator now as head coach, you know he knows defense, and Bill Housewright has been at Gate City for a long time helping coaching their defense. So we're going to have a tight battle. It's wet, the field's wet, it could be raining all night. I think we're going to have a low-scoring football game potentially because of all that.
Well, when we come back, the ever-popular Mark Pieces of the puzzle right after this timeout. You're watching the Toyota Game of the Week, brought to you by
your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
Last Chance clearance deals have a way of making Toyotas sell even faster. Sure, Toyota's the best when it comes to value, but a clearance deal increases that value. So the Toyota you want may be waiting, but not for long. Get a new 2011 Camry with 0.9 financing for 60 months or a $179 a month lease. Or choose the 50 MPG Prius for just $219 a month. Don't miss your last chance for a last chance clearance deal. See your Toyota dealer now.
Rolling right. Is he going to tuck and run? No, he'll throw. Intercepted. He's got an army in front of him.
We take great pride in playing between the walls of the stone castle.
Now, my man, you have collected a high sum of sacks this year. I mean, you're over, what, 15, 14 sacks?
16 and a half.
16 and a half? Did you keep count today?
I'm keeping count. Hey, I think it just shows what kind of football team we have, the character of our kids, the way that our program is headed in the right direction.
Can frozen biscuits be fresh biscuits?
Biscuits are best when they're frozen. That ice preserves the freshness within the biscuit. After that is taken from the freezer, put into the oven, and there the ice melts away, and that fresh state, it was like the biscuit was sleeping.
There's nothing fresh about frozen biscuits. The made-from-scratch country fried steak and gravy biscuit, smothered in sausage gravy. New at Hardee's.
Rolling right. Is he going to tuck and run? No, he'll throw. Intercepted. He's got an army in front of him.
We take great pride in playing between the walls of the stone castle.
Now, my man, you have collected a high sum of sacks this year. I mean, you're over, what, 15, 14 sacks?
16 and a half.
16 and a half? Did you keep count tonight?
I'm keeping count. Hey, I think it just shows what kind of football team we have, the character of our kids, the way that our program is headed in the right direction.
Mark Peace back here at Sullivan South. It's our Toyota High School Football Game of the Week pregame show sponsored by your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers. Now time for pieces of the puzzle tonight. And our first piece, Jay kind of stole my thunder in our pregame, in our opening segment. Jekyll and Hyde. Now that applies to both teams, both Sullivan South and Gate City, but especially the Blue Devils. Man, what a weird year they've had. Lose 31-0 against Richlands to open the season. Last week they win over Tazewell on a shutout, 41-0. So which Gate City team are we going to get tonight? Man, they got to bring some they got to bring some offense, got to score some points tonight, of course, if they have a chance to win the football game. Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside for Gate City. The Blue Devils want to take the air out of the ball and control the clock. Man, it could be 4-down territory from anywhere on the field for this Gate City team. They want to keep the ball away from Sullivan South, and they've got a great combo of senior running backs in order to control the football. The speedy Mr. Outside is Dusty Clark at tailback. The pounding Joseph Vaughn at fullback is the obvious Mr. Inside. And Vaughn, he had a pair of touchdown runs against Tazewell in that big win last week. Now for South, they got to get focused. South coach Sam Haney is worried about his guys coming back down to earth after their huge win against Boone, worried about them not coming back down to earth. They got to get refocused tonight for a very, very physical, hard-hitting Gate City football team, and they got to forget about last year's game, 41-14, a South victory over in Southwest Virginia. And folks, size does matter. South has a huge advantage across the offensive line against Gate City's defensive line. Now, I'm not an expert on anything, but I can use a calculator, and the way I figure it, the Rebels average 240 pounds per man on the O-line compared to 178-pound average for the Blue Devils defensive line. That's 62 pounds per man average that South has the advantage. Now, even though they are in the spread most of the night tonight, the Rebels certainly want to pound the football at that undersized Gate City defense, though they are a very quick defense. That wraps it up for pieces of the puzzle for this football game tonight, our Toyota High School Football Game of the Week presented by your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers. Gate City and Sullivan South, it's coming up here in a few minutes. When we come back, Jay Sandos will be here with our East 10 Reynolds starting lineups. Again, you're watching the Toyota High School Football Game of the Week sponsored by your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
They're feeding an entire family of 4 for just $5. How do they do it? Guys?
Feed a family of 4 for just $5. How do they do it? It's Little Caesars.
Okay, buddy. Hit the piñata.
Oh, pizza, pizza.
It's high school football time again in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. And Phil Bachman Honda in Kingsport is a proud sponsor of CMS High School Game of the Week this year. Phil Bachman Honda is proud to support all of our local teams and students. With exceptional vehicles and the best prices around, be sure to come to Phil Bachman Honda for your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Be sure to join us every week for the best high school games around on CMS High School Game of the Week.
Phil Bachman Honda, it just makes sense.
Last chance clearance deals have a way of making Toyotas sell even faster. Sure, Toyota's the best when it comes to value, but a clearance deal increases that value. So the Toyota you want may be waiting, but not for long. Lease a new 2011 Camry for just $179 a month. Lease this versatile 2010 RAV4 for $209 a month, or choose a $219 a month lease on Prius. Don't miss your last chance for a last chance clearance deal. See your Toyota dealer now.
We know you're faced with projects every day, and we know those projects aren't going to complete themselves. We know you need the right tools. We know you need them at the right time. We know you need them at the right price. you know you need East 10 Rentals. With over 100 years combined experience, our staff is always ready to help. Call us today to reserve the equipment for your next project. You rent it, we load it. East 10 Rentals, Bristol Highway, Johnson City.
Sullivan South. It is the Rebels and the Blue Devils of Gate City. Let's take a look at our East 10 Rentals starting lineups. We'll start with the defense for Gate City. And when you look at that front four, it's going to be Russell, Miller, Kaiser, and Kilgore. The linebackers of Clark, Elliott, Vaughn, and Seibert, with the cornerbacks of Morrison Bird. The free safety is Dusty Clark. On the offensive side of things, Nick Bowen, very talented quarterback, 5'9", 158 sophomore, will lead the attack with Joseph Vaughn, Dusty Clark, Seth Clark. The wide receiver will be Montana Morris, with the front line of McMurray, Vaughn, Reed, Dockery, Davidson, and of course the tight end, Michael Carlton. Let's take a look at the defense for the Sullivan South Rebels. The homestanding Rebels will Hyder, Solt, Hubbard, J.C. Garvin, and Hunter Harmon. Man, we remember him back from the Knox West game, had an outstanding effort. Johnson, Rowland, Wagner, Hutchins, and Weaver. On the offensive side of things, it'll be Heath Hayden, the very talented quarterback, who hands it off when he does. It'll be to Jordan Castle. Talented receivers, Wagner, Rowland, Shanks, with the tight end of J.C. Garvin, Hyder, Culbertson, Solt, Wilkerson, and Morlock, the front five for these Rebels of Sullivan South. When we come back, we'll take an in-depth look at this game, Gate City and Sullivan South. After that, we'll be joined by the third member of our crew, Tim McNutt, and we'll have the opening kickoff. You're watching the Toyota High School Game of the Week, brought to you by your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
Last chance clearance deals have a way of making Toyotas sell even faster. Sure, Toyota's the best when it comes to value, but a clearance deal increases that value. So the Toyota you want may be waiting, but not for long. Get a new 2011 Camry with 0.9 financing for 60 months or a $179 a month lease. Or choose the 50 MPG Prius for just $219 a month. Don't miss your last chance for a last chance clearance deal. See your Toyota dealer now.
Rolling right. Is he going to tuck and run? No, he'll throw. Intercepted. He's got an army in front of him.
We take great pride in playing between the walls of the Stone Castle.
Now, my man, you have collected a high sum of sacks this year. I mean, you're over, what, 15, 14 sacks?
16 and a half.
16.
We have the character of our kids, the way that our program is headed in the right direction.
For the last decade, Sullivan South has been one of the premier high school football programs in Northeast Tennessee, while their opponent tonight was one of the dominating programs in Southwest Virginia. The Sullivan South Rebels avoided an 0-3 start to the 2010 season by taking advantage of Daniel Boone Trailblazers' mistakes, forced by that very talented defense. Heath Hayden continues to put up solid numbers with nearly 300 yards of total offense in that win. The Gate City Blue Devils bring in a great tradition of winning football, with an almost unmatched community support. The Blue Devils were blown out in their opener to a very talented Richlands team, and then turned it around the next week by taking out their frustration on Tazewell 41-0. Which team will impose their will on the other in this border war? Coming up next from Death Valley, it's the Sullivan South Rebels playing host to the Blue Devils of Gate City. And it's all coming up next right here on the Toyota Game of the Week, brought to you by your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers. Rolling right. Is he going to tuck and run? No, he'll throw. Intercepted. He's got an army in front of him.
We take great pride in playing between the walls of the Stone Castle.
Now, my man, you have collected a high sum of sacks this year. I mean, you're over, what, 15, 14 sacks?
16 and a half.
16 and a half? Do you keep count tonight?
I'm keeping count. Hey, I think it just shows what kind of football team we have, the character of our kids, the way that our program is headed in the right direction.
Can frozen biscuits be fresh biscuits?
Biscuits are best when they're frozen. That ice preserves the freshness within the biscuit. After that is taken from the freezer, put into the oven, and there the ice melts away, and that fresh state, it was like the biscuit was sleeping.
There's nothing fresh about frozen biscuits. The made-from-scratch country fried steak and gravy biscuit, smothered in sausage gravy. New at Hardee's.
Back at Carl Matherly Stadium, Jay Sandos alongside Mark Peets, another edition of the Toyota Game of the Week. And our third member of our broadcast crew down on the sidelines, Tim McNutt. Tim?
Oh, guess what, guys? It's wet and nasty out here, and hopefully for Gate City that will slow down Heath Hayden and that Sullivan South passing attack, and that may be good news for Gate City's running game because, you know, they like to run the ball. So hopefully Gate City, this rainy weather will equal out the playing field just a little bit. Not saying that they need it, but, you know, a little rain to slow down the passing game couldn't help Gate City right now. Back to you guys.
Tim had a lot of time to work on his poetry skills, as you could tell down there. Let's just hope Tim stays dry the rest of the way. And the footing, actually, we were down there at Mark, was actually pretty good, even though the rain did come down, and it was only for a short period of time. It did come down steadily.
It only rained during our opening pregame and pieces of the puzzle.
And it messed with my hair, which is very difficult to do, so I don't know what to say about that. Tim's hair looked phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. Hey, looking forward to this one tonight. We've never had Gate City on, I don't believe, unless you guys did it the first year.
We have not.
And looking forward to having Gate City, and love to do a game over at Gate City one of these years, hint, hint. But looking forward to this tonight. You know what you're getting from the Blue Devils. No nonsense. They're going to try to, Jay, control the clock. And talked about it in pieces of the puzzle. They got a couple of good running backs in Vaughn and Clark that can do that. And also as well kind of got a hint that maybe Gate City's going to be going for it on 4th and short if they got maybe 4th and 1, 4th and 2. So it's going to be an interesting football game.
Well, it's no shock when Coach Colbro was there. Of course, Coach Housewright, a longtime assistant of Coach Colbro, and they believe in the same thing. A lot of single T, run the football. I asked Coach Housewright, like I do every coach, if everything worked your way, what would be your run-pass ratio? He said 90 to 95% run if he had his
Absolutely.
way.
And so much tradition at Gate City. 4 state championships in their history. And, of course, you mentioned Coach Colbro, the VHSL Hall of Famer. Of course, Harry Fry, going back to the late 50s into the early 80s, was the head coach for 20, 25 years or so. So a lot of tradition with this Gate City program, and they brought a ton of people and their cowbells over here tonight.
Well, Gate City will get the football to start it. Findus will do the kicking duties for the Rebels. And the Toyota Game of the Week is underway. Low liner again with the wetness. Nice job picking it up by Gate City. 20, 25, up to around the 30-yard line. And a good start for Gate City. We'll take a look at that offensive attack as Montana Morris, the 138-pound junior, on the return.
Had one of Gate City's 4 interceptions last week against the Tazewell Ball Club. Tazewell Bulldogs, I believe.
And the other 3, and we'll talk about that a little later, but the other 3 belonging to Corey Franklin. Also caught a 86-yard touchdown pass in that game. Couple talented runners for Gate City. They will share the wealth. Listed 3 running backs on the depth chart: Vaughn, Dusty Clark, and Seth Clark. And already some miscommunication and a quick timeout. Well, I say this, as long as I've been doing CMS, and of course I missed that 1 year, but I know we did Abingdon and we've done Virginia High, and I believe that's the only 2 Virginia teams until tonight, Gate City. And, you know, we both had the pleasure separately of doing Gate City games and knowing what the home fans can do. First time seeing Gate City on the road, and they did not disappoint. They have brought probably the largest visiting crowd, and we've done a lot of games at South.
Absolutely, a very sparse crowd 3 weeks ago in the opener when Knox West, of course, Knox West having to come 100 miles or so to this football game, but they have brought a lot of fans, and I'm sure the folks here at South, with all the tickets sold and concessions and parking, certainly enjoy that, and we're going to enjoy the cowbells tonight.
Well, I thought it was funny. Coach Housewright asked him how this game came about, and he said, "Well, actually, you have to ask Nick Colibros now." So when he was the athletic director, set it up, and actually Housewright kind of laughed a little bit and said, you know, well, I don't know if I would have played this if I had to schedule it, but now that he has, it was great. South coming over, and great for Gate City to come over as well. So a power I formation for the Blue Devils on a 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Play action pass, rolling, throwing, and a completion across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line.
Wow, coming out throwing on 1st and 10, the first play of the ball game.
And the Michael Collier, listed as a freshman quarterback, 5'11", 164 with the reception. While we have a moment, let's check in quickly with Tim McNutt on the sidelines. Tim?
The reason why the game was stopped there, one of the guys that holds the yardstick was hit on the play, and that's the reason why you had a momentary pause there in the action. Back to you guys.
Well, that's rough. They usually tell you if you see anybody come to you to drop it and run. With the football just pounding their way, Gate City close to a first down, and slew of rebels trying to bring down the first man through the hole. And that man is Elliott Seaver, 6 foot, 194 junior. No shock here, Gate City. Actually, I guess the first play was the play action pass.
Yeah, and Bowen, a pretty good thrower, only a sophomore, Jay, and comes in 11. Let's check his passing numbers so far in the first 2 games. You know, they don't throw it much. 10 of 15, a couple of interceptions, couple of touchdowns. So he's completing 67% of his passes.
And this is exactly where Gate City wants to be, Mark. 3rd and 1. Shotgun formation. They're going to throw again. Got a man in the flats. First down. Turning and getting the first downs. Dusty Clark, senior, 5'8", 190 pounds.
Jay, he's the speed guy, the Mr. Outside, I call him. Just kind of a little swing pass out of the backfield with South's defense expecting them to run the football on 3rd and short. So 2 of their first 3 plays, passes, and they're both complete.
And there's a look at our McDonald's instant replay. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Straight T formation. No wideouts. 2 tight end set. And a little counter right up the middle. First man through the hole. This time for the carries, Joseph Vaughn, 5'11", senior, 185.
He is the Mr. Inside for Gate City. Had a couple of touchdown runs, a 1-yard run, and a 55-yard scamper against Tazewell last week. They're going to, as you mentioned, they have a bevy of running backs.
So Gate City, Bowman leads his team up to the line. 9:40 and a turning clock. Power eye offset to the left side. Handoff, and again, nothing fancy. Gate City smash mouth football into Sullivan South territory. Vaughn with another carry to the 49-yard line of South. 3rd and short.
5'11", 185 bowling ball. Pretty good size on this Gate City offensive line. We talked about how small their defensive line is, but their center, 68 Austin Dockery, could be a hoss of the game candidate. He's 6'2", 310.
This time sweep on the motion from the shotgun. Spread tight out to the 46-yard line, enough for a first down. And talked to Coach Housewright about it, Mark, before the game, and he said, you know, they are more of a single wing tee principles, but they'll just run it out of different variations. And the shotgun there, normally you'd see in the wing tee, the man come in motion, that little jet sweep, they turn on, just hand it off. This time they just did it from a spread shotgun formation. The fact they passed the football, I think, has to weigh in South's mind in that situation.
Yeah. And 2 for 2, you have to respect the pass. And here they come out lined up at least to start in a wishbone. A little Barry Switzer.
They'll turn, hand off, and again, this time breaking throw to the 40, and 1 man to beat, drug down with Seaver. Seaver had 1 man to beat, and it was Taylor Rowland, the senior, 5'8", 165, that saved that from being a big gainer, if not to the house.
Nice block by one of the running backs to kind of spring him. I think that was Vaughn, Jay, and then, boy, if the South player there doesn't make the tackle, Taylor Rowland, it could be 6 for Gate City.
So a good opening drive for Gate City early on. And they're talking to Bowen, or who is not Bowen, they were talking actually to Dusty Clark. And I almost thought for a second maybe Dusty Clark was bleeding. Of course, now they changed the rules several years ago. If there's any exposed blood, they have to leave the field and get it taken care of. But whatever it was, Clark is allowed to stay in the game. Bowman shotgun formation. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line of Sullivan South. Clock will continue to roll, and a good opening drive for Gate City. Trips now to the left side. High snap, and a false start, I believe, is going to be called on the right side of the offensive line.
Feels like a fall evening. Not only Not only the rain, Jay, but a little crispness in the air tonight.
Well, the rain definitely cooled everything off. It's a very nice night right now, and it is starting to get a little chill in the air.
There's Coach House, right? Boy, I tell you what, he's had an outstanding career in football. Played at Gate City, played at Virginia Tech, was a longtime assistant at Gate City.
Play action rolling. Can he get to the outside? Bowman squares his shoulders. Wow. Throw on the run, and it's picked off.
Wow. Really, I don't know, Jay, that he got his shoulders turned. That was 25 for Sullivan South, making the interception. A.J. Hutchins, I don't think he got his shoulders turned. If we look at the McDonald's, I'm loving an instant replay. Well, not too bad, but
very tough throw. He almost threw across his body.
Yep, excellent. That's a tough throw for a right-handed quarterback going to his left.
Well, and that's a good point. If he had a chance to set his feet, it looked like the receiver had the man beat, but when he threw it running across his body, it left it short, floated a little bit, and that allowed Hutchins to come in and make the interception. So 1st and 10 for Sullivan South now, their first possession of the game, with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. And a handoff, first man through, and Gate City up to the task early on.
That's got to be a key to watch the offensive line, defensive line battle, Jay, because there's a 60-pound per man average advantage for the Rebels O-line.
Brenton Hubbard, a senior, 5'10", 190. If they go 2 tailbacks, he'll be the second one alongside Jordan Castle, the tailback senior, 5'11", 190.
C.J. Morlock, the right tackle, a 6', 190 junior, the only South offensive lineman under 200 pounds. And for Gate City, their only defensive lineman, actually they don't have a defensive lineman over 200 pounds. I thought they had one, but they do not start one anyway.
So late offensive lineman for South coming in. Straight pass block, step back throwing. Down the sideline, a jump ball knocked away at the last moment by J.C. Garvin, who had to turn into a defensive back.
Yeah, Garvin comes in leading the Big 8 conference in receptions through the first 3 games with 10 grabs. That time playing DB. A little bit of air under that throw. And
they're testing Corey Franklin, who had 3 INTs last week.
You don't want to test that guy. That's got to be some kind of school record, possibly, for Gate City.
You'd have to think
in a game.
At least tied, if not a school record.
Right.
Or not the outright record. At least he tied somebody. Or I'd love to see who had 4 INTs for Gate City. So 3rd down and 9. Hayden in the shotgun, has 2 tailbacks, play action, steps, pocket collapses, tucks it. This is where he's dangerous. Look out, 1st down and more down the sideline. Midfield, almost to midfield before he's knocked out of bounds, and that's the danger. It seemed like Gate City blitzed and finding the seam in the middle here. Heath Hayden, let's see if that's the case. No, it's just they brought 5 and then cutting right through, and he got past 2 tacklers, and boy, a lot of room, good block down the field, and nice job by Gate City's Taylor Bird.
Hayden just picking up where he left off last week, 175 yards rushing against Daniel Boone to go along with 111 through the air. So fast, Jay. That's South football there. The quarterback's so dangerous, running the ball as well as throwing it.
Hayden, they set up a middle screen, beautifully executed. Castle with a host of blockers in front of him. At the 45, into Gate City territory, inside the 45 to the 44. Great play call, that very aggressive defense. They let all 5 defenders beat the offensive line here on McDonald's instant replay, and beautifully set up.
And there was Castle right behind those linemen you talked about, Jay, that they let through. And he has plenty of running room, picks up his blocks, and a nice gain for South on a 1st down.
So Hayden, first possession for the Rebels. They'll end off the 2nd man through. That's Castle, 30. Stiff arms a man, 25, dragging him down to the 20 to the 16. 1st and 10, Sullivan South.
So South's got it going offensively, both passing and running. You see the fake handoff and then the counter play back to Castle, who's had 150 yards on the ground the first 3 games, and he's deep into Gate City territory.
So the ball's on the 16-yard line of Gate City. First threat of the game inside the red zone for the first time, South. They'll hand off Castle. They'll try him again. He'll break one tackle, then spin down to around the 12-yard line. Pickup of 3. Around 2nd and 7 for Sullivan South.
And I think already you can see how South is dominating, Jay. The line of scrimmage, Nick Solt, the center, number 65, returning starter from last year, blocked a defensive lineman, then hit a linebacker. So
Hayden this time hands it off to the second man through Hubbard. The de facto fullback, I guess you would call him. He's back to line of scrimmage, and that was it. Big third down here for Gate City. See if they can hold.
Devils were moving the ball until the turnover, the Bowen interception. And Gate City's marched it down to inside the 15-yard line in 7 plays.
The ball on the 12-yard line, 3rd and 7 for the Rebels. They'll fake the jet sweep. Hayden, beautiful keeper, got a block and walks it into the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels.
Gate City defense didn't stay home, Jay. They took the fakes. They bid on the fakes, and Hayden was able to sweep to the outside to the vacated area of the defense and go in for the easy touchdown for Sullivan South.
Tell you what, good play fake, carrying it out, and a great block downfield. And that's a block that deserves a lot of credit. Drew Shanks, the senior, 5'10", 155, lays down the block. The extra point for South is up. It is good. 7-0 Sullivan South. 4:44 to go in the first quarter. We saw Gate City drive stalled out with the INT, and really it looked like after the first couple plays that Gate City had South kind of on the ropes, 3rd and 9, but Heath Hayden really, I guess, with the play that kind of turned the whole drive around. Pick of a close to 35, 40 yards on the run, and then all of a sudden it was Sullivan South just very quickly down the field and into the end zone.
Big Heath Hayden drive there for Sullivan South. Avoided the sack on the 3rd down play you mentioned and scrambled for the big first down to keep the drive alive, then scores the touchdown as we see the McDonald's. I'm loving an instant replay. Fakes the handoff going one way and is able to sweep to the outside, picks up a great block from number 35 there, Drew Shanks, and is into the end zone. And Heath Hayden is playing, Jay, now the way that Sam Haney, I remember, told us 3 weeks ago when they opened the season against West. The quarterback is so important in this offense with his decision-making and also playmaking. So Heath Hayden has really stepped up, and his offensive line, as we mentioned, is doing much better as well. You got to have you don't get anything offensively without a great O-line.
So South will kick it back to the Blue Devils. Finva's first kick was short, bounced around, gave Gate City a little bit of trouble handling it. And the second kick is also short, taken by one of the upbacks, 35 up to the 37-yard line. Great field position for Gate City. And it was taken by a backup running back, Micah Bledsoe, 5'8" sophomore, 155. So I'll be honest with you, I like the way Gate City and everybody, I believe, in this stadium, including the home fans for South and the visiting traveling fans for Gate City, probably thought it was going to be run, and thought Gate City did a nice job of mixing it up.
Threw it 3 times, all were caught, just one was caught by the defense.
Power I formation for the Blue Devils. They'll turn, hand off, left side, just banging away across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Pick up a 3 or 4 yards. That's going to be by Joseph Vaughn. And, you know, Coach Haney talked to me about winning first down, and it was important against Gate City to win first down. And to be honest with you,
they're not winning first down
right now. They haven't. Gate City's really dominated first down. They'll turn, hand off. This is Vaughn again to the 45-yard line. And bring up a 3rd and short, 3rd and close to 2 yards, maybe even 3 yards. And that's exactly where Gate City wants this game. the previous 2 third downs they have thrown. Actually, 3 third downs they've thrown on 2 of them. They ran a sweep on the 3rd and 1. See what they do here, 3rd and 3. Quick snap count. Now handoff, and that's not going much of anywhere. Dusty Clark, the running back, picked up maybe a yard forward progress. It'll be 4th and 2, and let's see. Gate City with the score already 7-0. Seems like they will send on the punting unit. The punter who just actually carried the football should be Dusty Clark, the senior, 5'8", 190. See if that's Shanks or Wagner back deep. It's actually Wagner for Sullivan South, standing around his own 20-yard line. Snap is there, and good high punt. And Wagner puts it on the ground. Gate City all over it. Ball still free, and it looks like Gate City has recovered. They have. Huge break for the Blue Devils.
Exactly what they needed. It's not raining anymore, Jay, but that ball is on the field. The grass is still wet, so I would think that certainly contributes to the fact that the return man fumbles the ball. Was that Shanks, Jay?
It was Wagner.
Wagner, excuse me, number 30 for Sullivan South, and a big break. Gate City has the ball deep in South territory.
And it looked like Josh Berry, the senior, 5'5", 161 cover man, came up with the football for the Blue Devils. Inside the red zone, huge change of events. Toss sweep, left side. Vaughn cuts it back, picks up 4 yards, maybe 5, close to the 15-yard line. And that energizes crowd right in front of us. As always at South, all the media is on the visiting side.
I'm going to grab me one of those cowbells, or borrow one actually here a little bit later on.
I could have brought my vuvuzela if you wanted.
Oh, that's great. No, those are invading high schools in the areas at the DB game last week, and there were a number of students in both the Sullivan Central and the Dobbins Bennett student sections that had those. Oh, they're lovely.
2 receivers each way. Man in motion, and he'll get the handoff. Slip tackle. What a tackle. Bird was hitting the backfield. Was that Hunter again?
It was Hunter Harmon. Boy, he had a big game. You remember 3 weeks ago against Knox West, Jay. He was all over the place. And he's made a couple of big tackles already.
Listed as a linebacker. Now, I thought he played end in the game we saw, but he might have played a linebacker, just an outside linebacker walked up on the line.
3rd and long here, Jay.
3rd and about 7. Bowen shotgun. He'll turn, handoff. Vaughn to the 15 to the 14. Only picked up a gain of maybe 2. 4th and 5. Now, Gate City, I did manage to watch, as I always do, Mark. You know, I watched Logan Bird, the place kicker.
What kind of legs he got?
Well, he was good for 47.
Wow.
And was short from 50. So he's got enough leg.
If you're Gate City, you'd hate to come out of this with no points. So it looks like they are going to attempt the field goal.
It will be from the near hash mark. It will be 31 yards, and he has plenty of leg. Trust me on that. So we'll see what the wet ball, the snap and the hold is. Snap was there. The hold was there. The kick is up. Plenty of leg. Did he turn it too much? And he did. Pushed it a little right. It's the right call, though. His kicker's got plenty of distance, and I agree with you. You had to try to come away with points instead of going for it for 4th and 5. But I tell you what, he kicked one from 47 was an eye-opener because it was pouring down rain at that point. So let's see if the momentum shifts back to the Rebel side. Gate City's had a couple opportunities.
And if you're the Blue Devils, you really have to be kicking yourselves the fact that you've squandered the 2 opportunities that you've had so far. And South scored easily on their possession.
So 2 running backs in the shotgun formation with Heath Hayden, who already has a touchdown run in this game. He'll drop straight back. Plenty of time. Throws. Ball almost looked like it was tipped. Nice catch on the near sideline. And that is Jimmy Steffi. We saw Steffi with a couple of reverses in that Knox West game. And it could be the last play of the first quarter, as Sullivan South will end the first quarter with a 7-0 lead on a Heath Hayden 12-yard touchdown scamper. We'll be back with the second quarter after this timeout. You're watching the Toyota Game of the Week, brought to you by
your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
Last chance clearance deals have a way of making Toyotas sell even faster. Sure, Toyota's the best when it comes to value, but a clearance deal increases that value. So the Toyota you want may be waiting, but not for long. Lease a new 2011 Camry for just $179 a month. Lease this versatile 2010 RAV4 for $209 a month, or choose a $219 a month lease on Prius. Don't miss your last chance for a last chance clearance deal. See your Toyota dealer now.
They're feeding an entire family of 4 for just $5. How do they do it? Guys?
Feed a family of 4 for just $5. How do they do it? It's Little Caesars.
Okay, buddy. Hit the piñata.
Oh, pizza, pizza.
Jay Sandos alongside Mark Peace. Another edition of the Toyota Game of the Week. South leads Gate City by a score of 7-0. The third member of our crew, we'll talk to him after this play, is Tim McNutt. But a second down and short situation. 2nd and 3 for the Rebels. Coming off the Blue Devils' missed field goal. Hayden dropped straight back. Pump and go instead. Turning, trying to get to the outside. Hayden tripped up right near the first down marker. We'll see where they spot the football. But let's check in quickly with Tim McNutt. Tim?
Guys down here on the sideline, me and Kev had a bird's eye view of that field goal attempt right there. Of course, the laces were in, and as we know, kickers like to have the laces out. So maybe that contributed to the field goal miss. Back to you guys.
That is a great point. Does change the flight of the football. And the South is short, 3rd and about a half a yard.
You mentioned it was Elliott Seaver who made that tackle on Hayden. There's been a lot of Seavers over there in Gate City, Jay, that have played football. So nice play to tackle Hayden to keep him from getting the first down, at least temporarily.
Hayden's going to go under center. A little communication, see if it just isn't a quarterback sneak. And now did we have a timeout? Do we have an illegal snap? I think it's an illegal snap. See if we get the call.
The ball, okay? Prior to the snap, we have a snap infraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And it was a snap infraction. Generally what happens if you're going shotgun and all of a sudden you're going to go under center, sometimes you have to turn the football. And when you do that, Jim Stutes, our umpire, all over it. Called South for a snap infraction, so 3rd and 5.5. After faking a couple handoffs, Hayden leveled at the 23.
Oh, who was that?
Woo!
I want to see that again on a McDonald's instant replay.
It looked like Vaughn, number 31.
Oh, so he loves to, let's see here, Jay. Stands him up, gets stood up there, and then it's actually Seaver.
It's Seaver.
Whew. Seaver and also 41 for Gate City. It's Logan Russell. Whew. Laid him out.
So South will be forced to punt and see if Gate City can handle it. A fair catch called for, made at the 46-yard line by Joseph Vaughn, who I thought a minute ago made the play. Vaughn not trying to do too much with it, just called for the fair catch. 1st and 10, off the 46-yard line, and good field position here for Gate City. And Gate City's really hadn't had too much trouble driving the football. They've had an interception. They've had a missed field goal. I think Coach Housewright's got to be at least pleased with the way the offense has.
They've got to feel good about the way they've moved the ball. They've just got to cut down on the mistakes and take advantage of the opportunities they have, Jay.
So 1st down and 10 at the 46-yard line. Gate City shotgun formation. And they'll turn and hand off.
Oh, no, that's a nice hit.
Oh, geez, ran over. Man, Clark absolutely leveled Jake Weaver. Jake Weaver, by the way, got praise from Coach Haney as I was talking to him before the game. And sometimes I ask a few games in, hey, who's maybe the a surprise for you that's really come up big and won a starting job or put in some quality minutes. And without missing a beat, Sam Haney said number 10, Jake Weaver. Said he's been an outstanding surprise, earned a spot, and has made some big plays and will be a playmaker for a couple years to come as he's only a sophomore. Vaughn, nice dancing move. Look out. Spinning through a couple of tackles. He's got a man to beat. Turn, makes another one miss. That's a highlight reel. 49-yard touchdown run.
Oh, there's no question. That's one of the most spectacular touchdowns we've had so far in the early season. Joseph Vaughn, Mr. Inside, winding down the field. As we see the McDonald's envelope in an instant replay, that goes about 52 yards, Jay. You're counting the missed tackles, 6, 7, all the way to the end zone. He had a 55-yard touchdown run against Tazewell. So, hey, the guy's a pounder, but he also got some speed and moves as well.
Actually, a 51-yard touchdown run. And the extra point is up and good. The ball's on the 49-yard line of Gate City. I thought it was on the 49-yard line of South. But 51 yards for Joseph Vaughn, who, if we can look at that again, because you see, first of all, the power. He runs through a couple of tackles. First of all, he got great blocks.
Yeah, he
initial
did.
block. He ran through a couple arm tackles. Then he ran through another, spins out of one, shows his speed, and a nice little elusive sidestep. The spin here.
Oh, yeah. One arm tackle, 2 arm tackles.
Now, here's the nice elusive sidestep.
Yep. Yes.
Right to the end zone.
He's got some moves, Jay. 5'11", 185 bowling ball.
Now, obviously, I wasn't here for the Science Elizabethan, but by far, that's a touchdown of the year in the clubhouse so far.
Well, we didn't have much offense in that game, Jay, so I would say so far, yes. Trying to think back, we had our when we were here 3 weeks ago.
You know, we did have in the Knox West game. We did have a couple trick plays.
Yep, we had the Garvin tight end reverse touchdown pass.
And we had the hook and ladder.
Yes, we did.
So
for a touchdown for Knox West.
We've had our fair share of good touchdowns. But that individual effort.
It was individual effort. Now he got some good blocking at the point of attack there on the left side, but. He broke several tackles on his way to the end zone.
Tied at 7. Here's Jake Weaver, 25. Just lowers his head up to about the 28-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for South. And it's 7-7. So Gate City, I tell you what, hasn't come in intimidating.
No, they've hurt themselves with mistakes, missed field goal, interception. And South went 86 yards in 8 plays on their first drive, so they've moved it very easily as well. I thought we'd have a defensive struggle tonight with the wet conditions, even though it has stopped raining at this point. Not yet. It's some good offense.
Heath Hayden, handoff straight up the middle, and back to the basics. Hubbard with the carry. Ask Coach Haney about the reads and how much do you give the quarterback to do the read option? Do you really give him 100% control? And said for the most part he does, but every once in a while they see something in the coach's box, or sometimes to calm a quarterback down, Hayden or whoever it may be, St. Clair, and before him Phillips and the other guys, that they would actually call in a set play and just take the guesswork out or the read work out of it. Nice play, Castle. Castle, look out across midfield to the 49-yard line of Gate City, a 1st down in a big game.
Take a look at the McDonald's. I love it, an instant replay. Nice blocking at the point of attack with this big Sullivan South offensive line, Jay. Gate City small but quick. And Hayden was able to take advantage on the touchdown run of the quickness by Gate City. The fake handoff and the scamper around the left end.
This time Hayden hitting the backfield and showing his elusiveness. 1st down and more, got a wall of blue shirts, and he makes a move. Got a great block from Garvin to the end zone. Touchdown, Hayden.
Oh, wow.
The block that J.C. Garvin threw.
Take a look at the McDonald's. I'm loving an instant replay. The fake. keeps it, scrambles to the outside, and then Garvin, 15, watch him. He's looking. Oh, wow. Gets him. Good block because he blocked him to the side, Jay. Didn't hit him in the back where it would have been a penalty.
He waited for his man Seth Clark to turn, and the extra point is up and good. It's 14-7. Back-to-back spectacular runs, one for Gate City, one for Sullivan South. Let's check in with Tim McNutt.
Ooh, I love the sidelines, baby, right there. High school Houdini, Heath Hayden. He was in trouble, but the escape artist got out, took it in the end zone. Man, what a great way to answer the big play by Gate City, by Sullivan South. Big time right here on the sidelines, guy. I'm loving it. I'm loving it tonight. Back to you guys.
What do you think Coach Haney's talking to him about? You know, the truth is, if you go back to the first part of that, I think Hayden actually had the wrong read. He shouldn't have been left with the football, but he made the most of it. And that's probably that shows you a coach right there. Kid just goes 49 yards for a touchdown. Hey, son, I think you might have missed the initial read. Is that a football coach?
But that's what a playmaker can do, Jay, is turn nothing into something. And Heath Hayden is showing himself. I mean, he's following in a long line of great Sullivan South quarterbacks the last few years. When we're talking about Kurt Phillips and Bradley Davenport and Aaron St. Clair, and now he is really, really playing well the last 2 weeks for this Sullivan South ball club. We talked about the numbers last week. Over 100 yards rushing, 175 rushing, over 100 yards passing, responsible for 3 touchdowns, and now he's scored on 2 touchdown runs tonight.
So Fenves will kick off again, and this one goes out of bounds, a penalty.
Well, we're coming off back-to-back 2-play drives by each team, Jay. And let's take a look at the Vaughn spectacular run. Getting a nice hole, but then running through the arm tackles, winding, binding, grinding, and the nice sidestep move. Whoops! And leaves number 25 for South. That's A.J. Hutchins in his wake. And then South comes back with their own 2-play drive. It was 2 plays and 55 yards for Gate City. And then we have 2 plays, 72-yard drive for Sullivan South, and Heath Hayden scoring on the 49-yard touchdown run. We got a ball game. Heck of a ball game so far, 14-7 Rebels.
8:10 to go in the first half, 14-7. South on top of Gate City, ball on the 35-yard line, far left hash mark since the ball was kicked out of bounds.
Oh, had him out there on a swing pass. That's incomplete. It's a forward pass.
That's actually one of the talking when Matt Wilger used to do the broadcasts with me and done a couple broadcasts with you, the former Science quarterback, East Tennessee State standing out at quarterback. Talked about that's the toughest throw. People don't understand that throwing this swing pass to the running backs coming out of the backfield is one of the toughest routes you can actually throw. And I didn't believe him until he actually took me on the football field one day and made me try to throw some to Brian Edwards. I don't know if you remember him from. At one point in time was the all-time leading rusher in ETSU history.
I do, in the 90s.
Shotgun, handoff. Clark trying to get to the outside, and he'll pick up close to 5 yards around the 40-yard line.
You know, we got a close-up of the Gate City uniform. If we can get that shot again, we get that close-up sideline shot of the Gate City uniform again.
Do we need McNutt to
Well, we haven't had McNutt break down jerseys the way he did so eloquently last year.
You want the double tackle Twilly or whatever?
Yeah, you break down that. Tell me about the stripes on the shoulders. Is that just like, what is that? Is that, what do you call that, Jay?
Is that vinyl?
Is it? Well, get McNutt to break that down for us in a coming break, and I'm going to look for a cowbell.
I'll tell you what it is not. It's not velvet.
No.
Or suede. That's about it for my knowledge. They'll hand off Vaughn.
Oh,
Vaughn hit.
Nice open field tackle. Hunter Harmon again, Jay. He's all over. He's a senior. We've been doing a lot of South games. Where's this guy been?
It is a broken record, it seems like. Number 86 on the defensive side of things for South. Hunter Harmon fights off 2 blockers and comes up. What a great end zone shot. And Harmon with a big fist pump at the end, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's the excitement I think Coach Haney was looking for out of his ball club. So 4th down and about 7. Gate City will be forced to punt. Last time they punted, it's a 2-hopper.
Nice scoop. Let it go. Whoa.
Wagner 20 up to the 24-yard line. I had the same thought you did.
Worried about him handling a wet ball because he's already fumbled.
I'll tell you what, though, he did save the team about 10 to 15 yards.
Yes, that he did. It paid off the gamble to field that punt.
Well, for Sullivan South, their last drive, they tried to answer Gate City's drive, a 2-play, 77, culminating in this 49-yard screen. And you can see number 15 on the right of your screen.
Oh, he's
sizing him up.
Yeah, there he is.
Boom!
Oh, this knocks number 44 for Gate City in the middle of next week. That was Seth Clark, one of the Clark boys for Gate City. Spectacular block, and Hayden scores his second touchdown of the night.
Heath Hayden takes the snap. This time, the keeper. Nice read over the left side. Pick up a 2 or 3 yards. Good read by the Gate City linebackers. It did look like Derek Miller, the first man in on the stop, the junior, 6'1", 170. There's Heath Hayden. 6'1", 175 of him. He's just a junior. I'm sure he'll have a couple looks at it as well. I'm sorry, he's a senior. Hayden, quarterback sweep, got outside 30, 35, and Clark knocks him out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
That's got to be a design play. He didn't look at anybody else, Jay, or even carry out any sort of fake. He was going to run that ball regardless.
Just the old quarterback sweep, I believe. Just caught it, tuck and run.
Kind of a student body right, just with the quarterback running the ball. Man, I am so excited football is here. The NFL season, of course, by the time folks watch this on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, the first week of the NFL season will already be in the books, but great opening weekend of NFL games. And, of course, college. Man, it doesn't get any better than the college games that took place this past weekend.
So a penalty on Sullivan South. Backs him up to the 24-yard line. I as well. And, of course, all those big games would have aired.
You think Michigan beat Notre Dame?
No. Too many problems in the secondary. Hayden this time fakes a sweep to the left, tries to cut back right, breaks one tackle, spins, and hammered by the Gate City defense, and that's Clark again.
That's Clark is
Dusty Clark.
Dusty, yeah. He's made some big hits tonight, Jake. Yeah, you prefer your quarterback not to take those kind of direct hits. You know, in this offense, when he's going to run it as much as he does, he's going to take some punishment. But
so 14-7, South of the lead over Gate City. Third down for the Rebels, dropping straight back. Hayden, flush from the pocket, rolling right, tried to set his feet. He can't. Gate City.
Oh my goodness.
At his sack. Hayden, as he was called earlier, Houdini still on his feet, breaks one tackle. Now finally, and almost exhaustedly brought down at the 30-yard line.
I don't know who was more tired. I think Hayden finally just said, I've had enough. As we look at it on the McDonald's, I'm loving an instant replay. Nobody there. Okay, I'm going to tuck. Whoop. Makes Seaver, actually 44 for Gate City. That is Seth Clark miss. And then finally, it's Derek Miller making the tackle.
So the penalty took away the first down.
Here they come.
Wobbly short kick. See if Gate City gets away. It bounces around midfield. Not much as far as yardage, about a net 15-yard punt.
Boy, keep an eye on the punt game. Gate City has gone after it 2 or 3 times, Jay, and they're getting closer and closer.
Well, it's 14-7.
Little out loud talking there by Coach Housewright. Hey, let's talk about food, Jay.
Gladly.
Sagebrush, our Feed the Crew sponsor tonight. We had the chicken, mashed potatoes, a little macaroni and cheese, and some bread. $5 lunch specials, Jay. Monday through Saturday, 11 to 5. We'll talk more about it here in just a second.
Setting up, throwing, Bowen overshot his man. Is it picked off or did it hit the ground? They're going to say Weaver did not come up with it. Or actually, that is not Weaver.
Well, let's go ahead and put that Sagebrush logo back up there again. Let me talk about the $5 lunch specials Monday through Saturday from 11 to 5. You can get the chicken tips, Jay, or else look at the instant replay first. Or the open-faced roast beef sandwich. Ooh, that sounds good. Thinly sliced prime rib.
That's my favorite.
Thinly sliced prime rib topped with homemade mushroom gravy only at Sagebrush for lunch, 11 to 5, Monday through Saturday. Sagebrush Steakhouse, Eaststone Drive, Kingsport.
Uh-oh, mishandled snap. Bowman did a nice job to pick it back up. He's going to get a first down to the 35, the 30, down to the 27-yard line. And, you know, we've seen Sullivan South have a couple busted plays go their way. Why not Bowman? Bowman was supposed to hand it off to the right side. Watch him right here. Mark just pick it up and become the runner himself.
You see a fumble like that, sometimes the defense relaxes, Jay, and I think they did, but J.C. Garvin makes what could have been a saving touchdown tackle, forcing him out of bounds.
So Bowman under center. Sends the man in motion, hands off. And Vaughn with a carry. Pick up of a few yards. And Gate City again driving down the field. Coach Housewright's had a very good game plan coming into this. I'd say he's been around the block once or twice.
A couple of times, yeah. He went around the block his first time when it was still a dirt road. That's how long he's been going around the block.
And I'm trying to get to the outside, upended around the 20-yard line. Clark, Dusty Clark, up actually at about the 13-yard line.
And the Blue Devils would love to run clock here, Jay, and score right before the half. Their clock is down to about 2:40. And going at halftime tie, they'd love that.
Oh, that'd be, considering the fact of the turnover and missed field goal, I think they take that in a heartbeat. Power eye left side. Handoff, Clark trying to pick his way, and that's the first time we've really seen some foot. We've seen footing very little in this game, but that was one time where Clark went to cut, and his cut foot just went out from underneath him. Don't forget at halftime, we'll go over the stats, first half plays. Full recap of the first half and our thoughts going into the second half. So Wishbone, turn, handoff, power to the right side, trying to get outside was Vaughn.
Oh,
what a great tackle. Is that Weaver?
Yeah.
It is.
Dragged him down by the back of his jersey. As we look at the McDonald's instant replay.
Broke it outside. I think he broke it outside maybe a little early.
I think Clark was blocking inside. Jay was supposed to follow him, but he goes to the outside and
they put in Corey Franklin. We told you about his 3 interceptions last week, but he also had that 86-yard touchdown reception. Don't be surprised if maybe Bowen here doesn't put it up in the air. They're going to turn. They're going to hand off up to the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th and about 3 or 4, depending on where the exact spot is. And a timeout by the Blue Devils to talk about it.
Minute 9 to go in the first half. That'd be a perfect ending for Gate City if they can get the tying score and leave Sullivan South with no time to try to answer. But a very nice drive by the Blue Devils. Let's talk about our next 5 and looking forward to next week.
Brand new stadium.
At Science Hill, Kermit Tipton Stadium. They Opened it last week, did the Hilltoppers against Volunteer, had a big victory. Had a touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. Tonight playing Morristown West over there, so the third of 3 consecutive games at home next week. And then we got North at Boone. Looking forward to that one.
And South travels to DB, and then a huge one, Tennessee High at Dobbins Bennett.
We're at DB back-to-back weeks, and then back at Science Hill. The South Ball Club, they're starting to play a lot better.
The Stacy Carter Bowl, if you will.
Yep. This is our first of 8 consecutive weeks we'll be doing the CMS Game of the Week through the rest of the regular season.
So it is officially 3rd and 4. Turn, handoff, trying to get to the outside. Candy, 2 yards short. Clark again broke it outside. This time he brought down at the 8. Let's see what Gate City does, 4th and 2.
Taylor Rowland, who had the interception earlier in the game. Nice tackle to deny the first down.
I believe a timeout taken. To talk it over one more time. Huge play here. Do you try to take the points? You know you have to kick to South to start the second half. Take a look at some of the sponsors that make this broadcast possible. Of course, Toyota.
Your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
Phil Bachman.
Stone Drive Kingsport.
East 10 Reynolds.
Don't forget about Celebrate. Bristol Highway, Johnson City.
Little Caesars.
Hot and ready every day.
And Pizza.
And Hardee's.
The Thick Burgers.
Love Thick Burgers.
Now the Hardee's near my house has the red burrito now. And they have a jalapeno bar. Can I tell you how excited I am about that?
Oh, man.
Nothing like getting a thick burger with a side of a taco and some jalapenos.
Big play in the game here for Gate City. 51 seconds to go. 4th down and 2.
Overstacking the right side of the line. They're going to follow that down, and where does the spot? At the 6-yard line. Let's see. It will depend on the spot, and it's going to be awfully close to the yardstick.
Clark says they've got it, so just go ahead and move the chains.
South is not pointed the other way. Look.
Just come out in an I formation, quarterback Bowen under center. And Clark follows his fullback Seaver into the line.
And it does appear as if
close.
They got it.
It is a 1st and goal, Gate City.
So we had heard at Gate City prone to go for it on 4th down. And that might have been their only 4th and 2 opportunity or less. But the time was just 45.
I think they have 1 timeout left, Jay. The Blue Devils do.
So Bowman will go in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers left side.
Interesting, going to throw it.
He is. Clark will catch at the 5. Still from, can he break a tackle? He can. Touchdown. Dusty Clark, great individual effort with a touchdown reception.
Broke the tackle. Paul Wagner, Jay, had a chance. Could not wrap him up, and once he got away from the one man, Jay, kind of a little bubble screen, I guess, maybe to the outside, and you gotta beat one guy. You're responsible for the receiver is for beating one guy, and he beat the one guy, and it's a touchdown.
Well, the 2 outside receivers ran the 1-step and slants. The slot receiver, the 3rd inside receiver, which was Clark, did 1 step and went out. So they try to run everybody going right with Clark coming back left. Wagner wasn't fooled, but could not make the tackle on the extra point attempt by Gate City to try to tie this game up at 14. Low snap. The hold is there. The kick is demolished, and it's good. We're tied at 14 with 36 seconds to go in the first half. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Tim McNutt.
Guys, why do you smell upset in the air? South is faster, South is bigger, but it's about execution. It's about winning those individual battles, and that's what Gate City's doing right now. So South better get it together in the second half, or Gate City and those cowbells might be having a celebration party. Back to you guys.
And it's a very good point, because you look at it on paper, and we both did, and we're like, on paper, which football's never played on paper.
Nope.
If you look at the size and some of the key components, you think, man, this could have the making of what South did to Gate City last year. But I have to commend Coach Alsright. He's had an excellent game plan. They've hurt themselves twice with an interception and a missed field goal. 36 seconds to go in the first half.
Hello. Oh, there we go. But other than that, Jay, they've looked great. And they've run the ball a lot, but also sprinkled in some passing. And Bowen there threw the touchdown. Nick Bowen, who is doing the kicking duty, throwing the touchdown pass. And
Wagner is straight up the middle. Good return. And 29 seconds for South. And we'll see if South, who gets the football, to start second half. They have some timeouts left. See if they don't take maybe one chance to air it out. If not, sit on it, go to the half, or just sit on and go to the half. They're 69 yards away from pay dirt. Of course, they could just try to get in field goal range. Finvis handles all the long kicks. Taylor Moore, the sophomore, a lot of the shorter field goal attempts. Trying to set up a screen to Castle. Castle has it, needs a block, didn't get it. Actually fought through two. I guess he didn't need it. Fought through a couple tacklers, and then he's pushed out of bounds with 19.9 remaining.
Whoever.
We'll try to get that fixed at halftime, buddy.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing.
So 19.9 to go in the first half. Timeout taken. And tie ball game, Gate City and Sullivan South. Don't forget a halftime. Recap of the first half. Look at your first half highlights, first half stats, and a preview of your second half. Tim McNutt will have a chat with each head coach and kind of get their thoughts of the first half and maybe some adjustments if they'll let us know for the second half. And what has turned out to be a very damp, a little bit chilly night here actually at the stadium in Colonial Heights. South probably came in the game a heavy favorite if you're handicapping high school games, which I don't think happens anywhere. So 19.9 to go in the first half. Shotgun formation for Hayden. Hayden to Garvin, and it was a forward pass. And that time they set up a little bubble screen for Garvin. He take a step forward, a few steps back, and the other receivers out there went ahead to block for him. Ball was going to be thrown behind the line of scrimmage, so they can do that. 16.6 to go now in the first half. Jay Sandos, Mark Peace with you in the booth, or makeshift booth. Down on the sidelines, Tim McNutt. Hayden on a third down. Quarterback keeper just trying to get the first across the 40 to the 45 as he was bulldogged down. And taken down by Derek Miller, and the timeout taken by South. So South not conceding anything. While we have a moment, just a reminder, all of our games here on CMS you can catch on video on demand. Just go to Channel 1. Choose I Want More Than Local, and you'll see it right there, the game of the week. Usually it takes a week or so for these games to get posted, and you can usually stays up to about Christmas time before they pull them down. So I know there's plenty of times around the Thanksgiving holiday. I like nothing more than to sit back and watch Mark. South and Gate City tied at 14. Last year it was a South route across the state line in the Commonwealth. This year South getting all it can handle right now from Gate City. South does have an opportunity here at the 45-yard line. 11.3 seconds to go in the second quarter. Three receivers right side. Hayden the quarterback. Castle, the man beside of him. Dropping straight back. Hayden, plenty of time. Throws across the middle. Got a man wide open. 40, 35. Spinning at Steffi to the 32 with 4 seconds to go. And South had their last timeout, and they'll take it there. So 4 seconds to go, you get a shot at the end zone. I'm not sure if Fenvis has I don't know this, but I'm not sure if he has a 48-yard leg. And I like what Steffi did. He just got north, caught the pass, cutting across the middle on the dig route or the middle route, and immediately turned upfield. And that's actually closer to a 49 or 50-yard field goal. I think South is going to have to take a shot for the end zone. And if you ever had a great opportunity to attempt one to be right before halftime, what do you have to lose? 2 receivers to the near side. We saw a couple Hail Marys that have been converted. Sullivan East a few years ago, right before halftime, and of course the big one, Tennessee High against Science Hill, that one to win the game at Old Steve Spurrier Field. So 14-14, 2 receivers left, 2 to the right side. Heath Hayden, he'll drop straight back. Feeling pressure, he'll step up, he's got time. He'll launch it, it is a jump ball towards the end zone, towards Garvin, battling for it, no flags, and that'll end the first half. Sullivan South and Gate City locked in a good one. It's 14-14. When we come back, our halftime show here on the Toyota Game of the Week. Brought to you by your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
Last chance clearance deals have a way of making Toyotas sell even faster. Sure, Toyota's the best when it comes to value, but a clearance deal increases that value. So the Toyota you want may be waiting, but not for long. Lease a new 2011 Camry for just $179 a month. Lease this versatile 2010 RAV4 for $209 a month. Or choose a $219 a month lease on Prius. Don't miss your last chance for a last chance clearance deal. See your Toyota dealer now.
Rolling right, is he going to tuck and run? No, he'll throw, intercepted. He's got an army in front of him.
We take great pride in playing between the walls of the Stone Castle.
Now, my man, you have collected a high sum of sacks this year. I mean, you're over, what, 15, 14 sacks?
16 and a half.
16 and a half? Do you keep count today?
I'm keeping count. Hey, I think it just shows what kind of football team we have, the character of our kids, the way that our program is headed in the right direction.
Alongside Mark, the bell ringer piece. Gate City, Sullivan South. Tied at 14. That is Mark Peace on a cowbell. And
I'm loving it.
I can't even hear anymore. I think we're at halftime. I don't even know who I am anymore. Cowbell season, there he goes. So that way you just can't get it.
It's heavier than I thought it would be.
Take a look at the first half stats, Mark.
Hey, I tell you what, Jay, dominated on the ground. Gate City, 15 carries, 167 yards. Man, that's more than 10 yards a carry. 23 carries, 141 yards for Sullivan South. Both teams had a couple of long touchdown runs, not much passing. Total offense in favor of Gate City. They got over 215 yards total offense. First downs about even, 8-7 in favor of Gate City. Each team had a turnover. That was big in the football game. We're tied at 14, so it's been a pretty even game. And it's reflected, I think, in the stats, Jay. We've had a good one so far here in the first half.
Well, let's take a look at the first half highlights as the cowbell continues to ring, but it didn't start so well as Sullivan South, Heath Hayden with the first score.
His first of 2 touchdowns. Jay, that completes an 8-play, 86-yard drive. He takes it in from 13 yards out. Then there's our man, Joseph Vaughn, breaking some tackles, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, 51 yards for a touchdown. That was early second quarter. Extra point is good. We're tied at 7. Then back comes Sullivan South immediately. A 2-play drive that covers 72 yards, capped off. Heath Hayden takes it to the house. 49 yards, gets a great block there by his tight end, J.C. Garvin. And then just before the half, it's Bowen, the quarterback for Gate City. He throws the touchdown pass to Clark, and that's where we are. 14 all at the break.
Well, when we come back, it will be Tim McNutt on the sidelines. After this timeout, you're watching the Toyota High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
Last chance clearance deals have a way of making Toyotas sell even faster. Sure, Toyota's the best when it comes to value, but a clearance deal increases that value. So the Toyota you want may be waiting, but not for long. Lease a new 2011 Camry for just $179 a month. Lease this versatile 2010 RAV4 for $209 a month, or choose a $219 a month lease on Prius. Don't miss your last chance for a last chance clearance deal. See your Toyota dealer now.
Rolling right. Is he going to tuck and run? No, he'll throw. Intercepted. He's got an army in front of him.
We take great pride in playing between the walls of the Stone Castle.
Now, my man, you have collected a high sum of sacks this year. I mean, you're over, what, 15, 14 sacks?
16 and a half.
16 and a half? Do you keep count today?
I'm keeping count. Hey, I think it just shows what kind of football team we have, the character of our kids, the way that our program is headed in the right direction.
Jay Sandos alongside Mark Peace. We're back at Carl Matherly Stadium as the Sullivan South Rebels set to receive the second half kickoff from Gate City. Third member of our crew after the kickoff to start the second half, Tim McNutt. We'll check in with him. He had a brief chat with each head coach, and we'll see what they had to say. Ball into the air, second half underway. Takes a big old hop. But Sullivan South does do a nice job to hang on to it. That was Cody Medlin. Medlin, of course, had the kickoff return last week for a touchdown. Tim McNutt on the sidelines. Timmy?
Guys, I talked to Coach House, right? You think he'd be very optimistic, but he said his team still needs to make some adjustments. And I asked him what the key to winning the second half was. And he says, hey, we got to contain Heath Hayden because he's running all over us. Also talked to Coach Haney. Coach Haney, really, his team's down right now. He said his defense really needs to win on first downs. And he says he needs to start making plays on both sides of the ball. So it looks like we're in for a great second half. Hopefully Gate City playing both sides of the ball can keep up here. Back to you guys.
Well, there was a penalty against South that'll back them back inside or close to the 10-yard line, if not inside the 10-yard line. So South have committed a few penalties in this game. Ball going to be spotted pretty much right on the 10-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Rebels. Second half of what has been an outstanding football game. And Heath Hayden, long snap count. Blitz coming, Gate City. Hayden circles around. He's going to try to step and throw. Took a hit as he fired a bullet to the 42-yard line. Steffi again.
That is such a weapon, Jay, that Hayden brings to the table. The ability to scramble and keep a play alive until he can find somebody downfield who's open. Just an outstanding job. And if you run around and keep the play alive that long, eventually somebody's going to get open. They can't cover guys forever in the secondary, and that's a big play to start the second half for South.
Well, you go from the 10-yard line to the 42, a 32-yard gain for the Rebels. 11:35 in the third quarter. And Hayden steps back to throw again. Castle swing route overshot him, and again, we've seen both quarterbacks miss on that throw.
And you talk about, Jay, how tough that throw is to try to hit somebody in stride, drop it in over their shoulder, and that pass too long, falls incomplete.
So bring up a second down and 10, and typical Coach House, right from that old school coaching, never happy, never satisfied. We saw Sam Haney on the touchdown run, seemed like he wasn't happy about something. Football coaches are all the same, just about. Always working to get better. Second down and 10, two receivers to the far right side, also Garvin, the tight end to the right as well. Trying to set up the middle screen. Hayden throws, and it's caught amongst white jerseys. They were all over. Steffi nowhere to go.
Well, we've seen that play work for South. That time, obviously, it does not. Gate City read it all the way, and they kept some guys home, Jay. They're able to make the tackle for a loss for Sullivan South.
Well, defensive lineman Logan Russell actually started in, read the play, dropped back. And they usually tell linemen the rule of thumb is if you get in that easy, it's really not because you're that good. Sometimes just think about.
They want you in.
Yeah. They invite you to come in. Third down and 14 for the Rebels. Huge third down here for the Blue Devils. They have to get to the 48-yard line of Gate City for a first down. Fake a handoff, Hayden. Well, his best weapon's his feet. First down, look at that, to the 44-yard line of Gate City.
When in doubt, take the snap and take off and scamper for a first down. Heath Hayden, the star of the night so far for this Sullivan South Rebels team. He has made so many things happen, Jay, with his legs, running the football on purpose, and then also, as we've seen, keeping plays alive with his feet while still looking downfield and hitting open receivers.
So 1st and 10 for South. Shotgun, they'll hand off. Castle right up the gut across the 40 to the 39-yard line.
Gate City with the new logo, with the new, not the white helmets. They had the blue helmets, I know, if I remember correctly, for so long with the Devil logo. Now going with the white helmets. I like it. Kind of like the old Baltimore Colts with the stripes on the blue stripes on the white jersey.
Well, the good news is Tim McNutt will break down the uniform later. Handoff, Castle spins off one tackle, still turning, and a good play by Gate City.
Elliott Seaver, Jay, making that tackle. One of the many Seavers who's played football at Gate City. As we look at it on the McDonald's, I'm loving it. Instant replay. Seaver does a great job of fighting off a block and getting back there and dropping Castle for a loss. Seaver jumps the moat to sack the Castle.
So 3rd and 7, and we've seen Gate City run the last third down. It was 3rd and 14 they converted. See if they don't try to run it here. Oh, mishandled snap! Gate City all over it. That is Micah Bledsoe, the backup linebacker, coming up with the recovery.
In the right place at the right time as they, as you mentioned, botch the handoff. Well, let's see it again on the McDonald's. I'm loving an instant replay. No, actually, Heath Hayden never had the snap, and then Castle goes off his leg.
And every time you see something like that, everybody wants to blame the center. That one looked to be on Hayden. It was right there. If we look at the replay after this play, he just took his eye off the ball.
Micah Bledsoe, only a sophomore, 5'8", 155, dripping wet.
This is a very young Gate City team. Toss sweep. Franklin trying to get to the outside, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, turning the feet. Oh, he's carrying the pile across midfield to the 49.
That ball is out. It looks like South has it. Or they're going to say he was down. I think they whistled the play dead, and then he fumbled the football. But if we go back and look at this replay, Jay, sponsored by McDonald's, we're going to see Harmon miss a tackle, and that's one of the rare misses of a tackle for Hunter Harmon.
So he's human. First time.
Boy, what a job by Clark. Actually, I'm sorry, 14 for Gate City.
Corey Franklin, all 148 pounds of him.
And what do I say about the heights and weights? They're always exaggerated, so Corey Franklin probably weighs about 135.
Now handoff Vaughn. He'll skip his way to about 3 yards.
I haven't weighed 135 or 148 pounds since about 6th grade.
Believe it or not, I graduated and joined the Army right out of high school at 148 pounds.
You were a string bean.
Quickly went to about 240. By the time I was at age 20, actually I think I weighed 240 in 2004. Rolling to the right, Bowen, good throw down the right sideline, got a man complete inside the 10.
Oh, that was nice. You run the football, that's going to set up your play action passing game, and boy, Gate City takes the turnover, and they are on the precipice of taking the lead tonight for the first time.
What a good throw.
Actually, not even play action, excuse me, just out of the shotgun, rolls to the right, and drops that in perfectly to his receiver.
And Morris fell right on the football. Looks like he just had the wind knocked out of him. So 1st and goal inside the 10, right around the 9-yard line. They'll hand off as Dusty Clark, maybe a yard, if that. Garvin, the first one to hit him. I'll tell you what, I really do like Gate City's game plan. They've got me guessing, which isn't that hard, but.
Well, they've kept South's defense off balance all night. and they've passed it enough just to keep them honest, Jay.
Well, Coach Housewright again said he wanted to run it. If he had his druthers, he'd run it 90-95% of the time. But he said it doesn't always obviously work out that way, and you have to throw to create running situations, and you have to throw to keep everybody honest. But today they've thrown and thrown effectively. So Clark goes in motion, toss sweep. Vaughn breaks a tackle. No, he didn't. Looked like he was going to step out of it. Great play by guess who? If you had to guess,
Hunter Harmon.
That's exactly.
Comes back and redeems himself. And you look at this pitch. We can look at the replay. It was a line drive right into the face mask of Vaughn, who does a great job of catching the football.
Tell you what, a nice job just to hang on to Vaughn.
Yep.
The key to a running back, if you can hit him before he takes a few steps, obviously they can't start to get downhill on
and
you.
Vaughn was still concentrating on really getting the football tucked away.
So 6:20 and a turning clock here in the third quarter. Gate City, ball on the ground, handoff. Clark trying to get to the outside. That timing of the play thrown off by the mishandled snap, and now it is definitely a field goal situation for Gate City. That time just put it on the ground.
Totally threw it off there by having to pick the football back up and handed it off. And Gate City,
a lot of blue jerseys in a hurry after that.
South all over it, so we'll see if Logan Bird can redeem himself. He's almost a little bit offset to the left.
It'll be around a 30-yard attempt.
Plenty of leg. And good.
Woo! 17-14 Gate City, 5:30 to go in the third.
Seven-play drive after the turnover. It culminates in the Gate City field goal 30 yards away by Logan Bird, and the Blue Devils have the lead for the first time tonight. And we'll see how Sullivan South ends up responding. They've got a feeling they've kind of been in control of this football game, Jay, even though Gate City has played so well, but now they find themselves after their second turnover behind in the game.
And again, the bugaboo of the turnovers again come into play. 17-14 our score. Let's check in with our bugaboo, Tim McNutt.
Guys, I know you can hear it. Gate City, they're all about more cowbell. Because when you hear the cowbells, they're rocking and rolling. But hey, they're just like every other football team. They put their pants on one leg at a time. Except when they win their pants, they win state championships. Back to you guys.
Tim, let's see the cowbell. Tim. There we go.
I know you can hear them. I know you can hear them.
There's about 1,000 of them there tonight, Tim.
Gate City's rocking tonight, baby. They're singing that cowbell song, and it sounds good right now.
Took Mark Peace a lot of autographs to get that cowbell away from somebody.
Oh yeah.
A lot of photos taken up here with the locals. 5:29 to go in the third.
I love Scott County. I love the Scott Countyans.
Bowen, the quarterback / kickoff man. The ball taken by Wagner. Wagner trying to get it across the 20.
I tell you, in all seriousness, and I spent 6 years in the 90s in this area, and covering high school sports at one of the local network affiliates, and going over to Gate City for a football game was always a joy. The fans so passionate, the stadium's packed, and
the city shuts down.
Oh, absolutely.
You drive downtown at 4 o'clock, they've already closed down.
Same thing for going to a basketball game at Gate City as well. The gym is full, it's hot, crowds right on top of you, so it's one of my favorite places, one of my favorite schools to go and cover when I was back in the day.
So down by 3, Heath Hayden fakes a handoff, spins off and took a shot. Seth Clark, if he hadn't introduced himself to Hayden already, did there.
Well, this is about want to, I think, right now, Jay. And Gate City is certainly, if you want to say, outmanned. But they're certainly not going to be out-hustled and out and lose on heart. South's going to have to really suck it up here and get physical with this Gate City football team.
High snap, now hand off. Castle spinning up to close to the 30-yard line. South will have about 5 or 6 yards to gain for a first. Another look at the cowbells.
Now there's all kinds, all sizes. It was heavier than I thought. They've got them painted. All kinds of different designs and messages on them. I like the cowbell a lot better than the Vuvuzela.
So third down. And close to about 5 yards, maybe 5.5. Hayden dropping back, blitz coming, hangs in, throws. Oh, just over the outstretched arm.
Oh, he had him, Jay.
Who was that, Wagner it looked like?
It was 31.
He's actually rolling. Tell you what, he hung in and took a shot again.
Yeah, because the blitz was coming from the outside. The corner was coming on him.
What a good throw.
Yeah, ooh, it's a little bit more difficult catch if you see it from the end zone shot there on our McDonald's instant replay, but a ball that potentially could have been caught. Well, they come again.
And almost got it again. Oh, he let it bounce, and it's going to about a 15-yard difference down to the 20-yard line.
Well, you got to catch the punt when it's in that situation.
Had a chance to catch it around the 35, and it bounces all the way to the 20. Field position, obviously a battle. That's what the whole game is built upon. Gate City had a big pass play that set up the field goal last drive after the turnover. They lead for the first time.
They do lead
today,
for the first time tonight. It was 7-0 South and 7-7, 14-7 South after the Heath Hayden's second touchdown run. Then 14 all at the break, and now the Devils in front, and they've kept South's defense off balance all night.
Well, hand off to Vaughn. He's upended after a couple of yards. And see if Gate City doesn't try to grind this game down. So a quick whistle.
Haven't been very many penalties tonight in this game, Jay. We've
just
not heard much from Howard Henson and his crew. So well played from that standpoint.
Play action, step, throw, across the middle. 2 out, picked off. What a great interception.
Oh, that's going to be a highlight play, one of our plays of the year, Jay.
Catch. Hutchins, A.J. Hutchins second INT, and what a unbelievable one-hand grab.
As we look at the McDonald's, I'm loving an instant replay. Really threw it into double coverage, Jay. Ill-advised throw, and just what a great grab.
Absolutely a great play. He hits it twice, I believe. Twice with the right, or with the left, and catches it with the right, and turns over before he falls and puts it on his right hip.
Hutchins, the 5'10", 160 junior, sets up South in Gate City territory after the Devils' second turnover of the night.
Unbelievable catch. Set up a screen to Castle. They have it this time, it looks like, except for Seth Clark. Clark makes the first initial hit. The Blue Devils come.
Oh, my word!
On the sideline, one man to beat, cut back, and he's down at the 5.
Wow! We have seen some spectacular. Castle gets up limping. Let's look at the McDonald's. I'm loving an instant replay. They set it up. Castle and Seaver looks like he's going to take him down, but no. And then there's some arm tackling, Jay, and right down the sideline, all the way down to the 5-yard line.
First and goal at the 5. Castle still down. Let's hope it's just a cramp or something of that nature.
I think Coach Housewright will be happy about the tackling efforts on that play by his defense.
Tell you, Seth Clark did a nice job to kind of blow the play up, but Castle kind of spun out of that tackle, broke a few more, and headed down the sidelines. While we have a break in the action, checking in with a third member of our crew, Tim McNutt.
A.J. Hutchins went straight up grand theft offense. ball jacking Gate City right there. Really lit a spark that's going to light the fire. But what Gate City's got to do is put it out quick because they can't afford an inferno right here to stay in this game. Back to you guys.
Jay, can you translate that sideline report for me? I don't understand the word he said.
Hutchins, great play, changed momentum.
Okay, got it.
South is going to try to score, and for Gate City, they can't let this start to steamroll the rest of the game.
Got it, thanks.
How's that?
Right.
That's my best Tim McNutt.
I understand perfectly now. Take a look again, Jay. Had it set up, and as you mentioned, Clark had it blown up, had the tackle. Ooh, but just a great job of Castle keeping his legs driving. And then we got 1, 2, 3 arm tackles, and there he goes down the sideline. And South has an opportunity to take the lead back. This has been a good one tonight.
Question, do you know who the backup tailback is? Because I've only seen Castle.
Yeah, they usually go with just one back.
It could be Weaver. Or is Weaver a receiver?
Let's see who they got in the game. They've got two. They've got.
It is Weaver.
They've got Weaver, and they've also got Brenton Hubbard, a 5'10" senior in there.
Fader out near sideline, caught, touchdown, great pass. J.C. Garvin with the reception.
Little play action. Had Gate City thinking run, and they drop it in for the touchdown. Actually, not a play action, just a little 3-step drop. Finds him in the left corner of the end zone, beats double coverage.
Can you tell he worked on that route? Because Hayden threw to the spot, and Garvin got there and made the reception.
So the second time tonight, South scores on a 2-play drive.
The one-armed interception could be the turning point of this game. Going back to what Tim McNutt was trying to explain to you. High snap, hold is down, and the kick is good. 21-17, South with the lead. With 2:14 remaining in the third quarter. So now we'll have to see how Gate City will respond, and that again goes to the second half of what McNutt was talking about. Can't let all the momentum steamroll you here as Gate City. You know, it's kind of funny in certain aspects. You think really South is dominating certain parts of the game, and other aspects, if you just looked at it, you would say just by the numbers Gate City may have dominated the game. But as you look at it, it's right where it probably should be, 21-17.
I think Gate City is just staying in this football game, Jay, with heart, desire, and offensively keeping Sullivan South off balance with the run and the pass. But the turnover, again, their second turnover of the night. And really where Gate City is really hurt themselves is with those miscues. But Heath Hayden's had another great night. He's run for 2 scores. Got a 52-yard touchdown run. Had a 13-yard touchdown run in the first half, and now that touchdown pass. And his screen pass to Castle covered 47 yards, set up that touchdown pass.
Gate City with the return up to the 20-25-yard line. Montana Morris on the return. So we'll see how Gate City responds. They have trailed 2 other times in this game, and they have answered the bell.
Nice pun.
Thank you. I was wondering if you were going to catch that. Handoff left side. Clark runs over a man, slides up to about the 33-yard line.
That was our guy, Hunter Harmon again, Jay. Clark just kind of ran out of the, ran through the attempted tackle.
So Gate City again winning first down. Coach talked to us before the game about it, Coach Sam Haney that is, and talked to McNutt about it. Gate City continuing to pick up big chunks of yard on first down, and
not that time.
Not real sure. I think it might be better who did not jump off sides as opposed to who did jump off sides. The whole left side of the line, the backfield, and the wide receivers all jumped.
Prior to the snap, movement in the offensive line, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Movement on everybody, except for the center and the quarterback, apparently. This time handoff, and here comes Vaughn. Cutback, look out. He's at midfield. Vaughn, you can forget about it. Joseph Vaughn, touchdown.
He's supposed to be the power guy, Jay, but he scored on his second long touchdown run of the night. Let's look at the McDonald's. I'm loving an instant replay. He goes about 75 yards on that one.
72 to be exact.
72. This game back and forth with big plays.
And Gate City back on top, 23-21. The extra point, as you see on your screen, is good.
Each team tonight has had two-play drives for touchdowns. That one, 2 plays, 75 yards.
And you can tell as soon as he got through the first line of defenders,
he was gone.
You just saw it go. So back on top is Gate City, 24-21. Let's check in with Tim McNutt. Tim?
Guys, right there, Gate City, they answered right there. They had to, no choice. Joseph Vaughn, that's not a twin V6. That's a Hemi in that kid. He's got a Hemi for an engine. He just pulled away from the Sullivan South secondary, all speed and power. Watch out, Sullivan South. This kid is a horse. Back to you guys.
I understand what a Hemi is.
Okay. I was going to ask.
I know what a Hemi is.
I thought I used to see you on Charter Channel talking about a few of them.
Yeah.
So Bowman to do the kickoff duties, quarterback / kickoff duty. High end over end kick.
That's a live ball.
Wagner to 15, just trying to hang on to it, and he'll go out of bounds at the 16 or 17.
Got to wonder if some miscommunication there.
Take a look at South last possession, which started with this great interception.
Oh, terrific. One of the best plays we've seen interception-wise in our years doing this CMS Game of the Week package, and then they come right back. The first play, Jay, Jordan Castle. One-man show all the way down to the 5, and that sets up the Hayden to Garvin touchdown pass, and that gave South a very temporary 21-17 lead.
Just like a good championship boxing match, one team knocked down to the canvas, the other team responding. Trying to set up a reverse to Steffi, and they do. Steffi, 20, look out, a lot of running room, 30, 40. Drug down at the 45-yard line. That's where Bird makes the stop. And quickly, momentum back to South.
Coming on the end around. And there's nobody there, Jay.
Finally, a white jersey, 30 yards down the field.
Yeah, we didn't see one there for a long time. You know, we don't root for we root for good games, and this is a great one tonight. But you know what I've always rooted for since you and I started working together.
You're gonna say it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it. Maybe.
Okay, maybe it'll happen.
If I don't say it, it'll happen.
It might. 36.6. What did you have to eat today? Did you have the chicken?
From Sagebrush Steakhouse. Oh, yeah, Jay, I had the chicken. I had some mashed potatoes. You can tell by looking at me, I'm a potato guy. Didn't have any gravy tonight, though.
No.
I was missing the gravy.
Or Tim had it all, I'm not sure.
But you can go there anytime, Jay. We talked about the $5 lunch specials. Hey, if you've got a little extra money, how about a $6 lunch special? The pork fritter. That sounds like something I'd like too, Jay. Or the barbecue sliders. 2 mini sliders loaded with their award-winning barbecue slow-simmered in a tangy barbecue sauce with your choice of a house or a Caesar salad.
Something me and you would not eat, but
chicken Caesar wrap. It does. My wife would like that. Grilled chicken, romaine lettuce, and classic Caesar dressing, and a warm tortilla served with your choice of 2 side items for only $6 at Sagebrush. Their lunch deals Monday through Saturday, 11 to 5. Sagebrush Steakhouse, Stone Drive, Kingsport.
24-21. Gate City with a lead. South with the football. Hayden just a quarterback sweep left side. Cuts back 45 to the 47. And could be the last play of the third quarter, depending on how quickly South gets on the football and runs a play. They do not have to run a play if they do not want to. So Hayden with 2 seconds left to go in the quarter, hands it off on a big hole. Look out, Weaver, 40 to the 36 and a first down. Last play of the third quarter is a big one for Sullivan South. They trail Gate City 24-21, our fourth and final quarter after this timeout. You're watching the Toyota High School football game of the week, brought to you by
your Mountain Empire, Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
It's high school football time again in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. And Phil Bachman Honda in Kingsport is a proud sponsor of CMS High School Game of the Week this year. Phil Bachman Honda is proud to support all of our local teams and students. With exceptional vehicles and the best prices around, be sure to come to Phil Bachman Honda for your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Be sure to join us every week for the best high school games around on CMS High School Game of the Week.
Phil Bachman Honda, it just makes sense.
Last chance clearance deals have a way of making Toyotas sell even faster. Sure, Toyota's the best when it comes to value, but a clearance deal increases that value. So the Toyota you want may be waiting, but not for long. Get a new 2011 Camry with 0.9 financing for 60 months or a $179 a month lease. Or choose the 50 MPG Prius for just $219 a month. Don't miss your last chance for a last chance clearance deal. See your Toyota dealer now.
Jay Santos alongside Mark Peace, and one last play to end the third quarter, as the previous play was called back. Play action, Hayden throwing down the seam, and he's got a man wide open.
Holy smokes!
End zone, touchdown South, Drew Shanks. So they have to run one more play in the third quarter, and boy, Gate City didn't like that.
As we look at the McDonald's, I'm loving an instant replay. That is play action. They faked the end around, and Drew Shanks, Jay, I could have caught that and gone for a touchdown. Well, maybe not. But
if they show that again, you can see the safety bite on the play action.
He did. It was perfectly executed. How far was that touchdown pass, Jay?
You know, I actually don't know. I was a little taken aback that they had to finish the third quarter. Now the third quarter is officially over. That was actually the last play of the third quarter. So if we can look at the replay again, I want to look at the safety, and then also we need to get the yardage. But now, and here it comes, the McDonald's I'm loving instant replay.
Looks like about 60 yards, and yet you're right.
Yeah.
Boy, Shanks, sometimes those are the toughest plays to make. You're so wide open. There's really no excuse as long as the ball is delivered the way it was in that case.
He just had to throw it out there and let the receiver catch it.
You just got to catch it.
Let's go to our open receiver on the sideline, Tim McNutt.
Guys, the reason why Sullivan South replayed that down was there's a holding penalty. Of course, that just gave Heath Hayden more room to make that spectacular throw in the end zone. Back to you guys.
Well, South had one last play in the third quarter, and they ended it in style. Boy, it has been an exciting last 2 minutes of the third quarter.
What a third quarter there, Jay. I'm going to say the 6 years you and I have worked together, I think that's the most exciting quarter of play we've had. It was 14-14 at the break. 2 South touchdowns, a Gate City touchdown, and a Gate City field goal.
And you had a couple long touchdown runs, exciting screen pass. You had the one-handed interception.
Exactly.
Then the touchdown pass off the play action fake reverse when they ran a reverse earlier.
That was an action-packed 12 minutes. And we hope to have more of the same here in the final 12.
(28-24), Sullivan South. Gate City set to receive the kickoff. Finvis to tee it up and put a right foot into it. Low liner taken at the 10. 20, Morris
flag down
to the 30 and to the 35, but the flag came around to 30. That does go against Gate City.
Block in the back.
Then that'll probably back them up 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which will get them close to the 20. And a chance to go 80 more yards. Has been a very entertaining football game.
Terrific game tonight.
You know, in all honesty, last season, we didn't have that many entertaining games. But so far this year, all three have been entertaining and have come down to the fourth quarter. We didn't have to break out any of our dust off the old blowout.
We haven't had any homecoming games. I'm hoping we get some homecoming games this year.
I don't think we have one on the schedule, do we?
On the return, block in the back, on the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
I don't know if we have any homecoming games.
Is that on purpose?
I didn't make out the schedule.
We don't have any.
Oh yeah, I did.
Homecoming games?
I did make out the schedule. I guess I can blame me. He'll turn, play action. Oh, and a nice play. Bowen's got it. Cut back 25. Actually tripped over his own man, or looked like tripped over his blocking, pulling guard. Right over his feet and tripped after a gain of 6 or 7. So second down and short. I don't think we have homecoming. We have a senior night, but I don't think we have a homecoming. I missed the pageantry of homecoming.
Your nose is growing.
Hand off right side. Vaughn, look at Vaughn cut back again. 35, 50. Couple men to beat, and he plows his way to the 29-yard.
You are kidding me.
The runaway milk truck to the 28.
Oh, gosh. And let's take a look at, I'm sure the McDonald's I'm Loving It instant replay and just see. Nice cutback, breaks the tackle in the backfield, Jay, and once he breaks that tackle behind the line, he's off to the house.
Oh, what a collision, too. Tell you what, Rowland came in.
But a nice job on the offensive line to open the hole after he breaks the tackle.
First down and 10. Now handoff for a couple of yards does Gate City. That's Dusty Clark on the carry. And I know it's a little early to even consider it, but it might be a done deal player of the game, at least for Gate City. If it's not,
yeah.
I'd love to know.
Well, we got our Hoss guy, too.
I'd say you do.
We got to do a Hoss.
I'd say it'd be one in the same.
Yeah. He's about 3.5 hosses.
This time another keeper. Oh, cut back Bowen. 10, 5, a man to beat, spinning to the 2.
Boy, reach that. Wait, that ball's out, Jay. He reached the ball out. Let's see what's going on here in the end zone. It's a Gate City touchdown.
And it is a Gate City touchdown. How many times do you see 73 get up with a football? Cody Vaughn. The question I had is the same question the Gate City fans had in front of us when they thought they didn't score a touchdown. Is when he reached out with a football, the ball hit the ground, which would cause the fumble.
There's the instant replay, but just again. Missed tackles, and then 31 has him. It looked like to me, Jay, he's down, then the ball comes out, but obviously there's no instant replay in high school football.
And coming up with it was Cody Medlin, number 73. Extra point up.
Woo! Booms it through.
And could.
Taylor Rowland had the tackle there inside the 5, and then Bowen reaches the ball out, and it comes out. I thought after he was already down, but that's not the way the referee saw it. And as you said, Cody Vaughn. Probably that kid's first career touchdown.
To see things live.
Oh, yeah.
Either way for Gate City. Worked out to their advantage. Even if they would have ruled them down, it had a first and goal about the 2-yard line. 2-yard, maybe to the 1-yard line.
There's a 4-play, 80-yard drive for Gate City. Long drives, yardage-wise, but in a few number of plays. So Gate City's had 2 2-play drives and a 4-play drive for touchdowns. Gate and South has had 2 2-play drives for touchdowns.
So 31-20. This is bar none. So far, the greatest second half I think we've done.
Yeah, well.
I'm trying to think back. We had one other back and forth game, but if I can't think of it, it could have been that game.
4 lead changes, Jay, here in the second half. The first 14 minutes of the second half.
South, there's Medlin. Up to about the 30.
This is, it's not been great defense, but it's been terrific offense and some so-so tackling defensively. Neither defense, particularly in the second half, has had an answer. Guys are just running in space for huge chunks of yardage.
First down and 10 at the 30-yard line for South. Now they must try to answer again.
Whoever has the ball last is going to win this game.
I think you are absolutely correct. So first and 10. Hayden hit and hammered at the 31. Hello, Bledsoe. As in Micah Bledsoe. Of course, Bledsoe had the fumble recovery, which led to Gate City taking the first lead of the game, 17-14. Boy, that seemed like a long time ago, doesn't it? 9:35 and a turning clock. Handoff, Weaver. Weaver, the backup tailback, up to the 35 to the 36-yard line. Very talented sophomore. You would have to imagine he would be the heir apparent to the senior Jordan Castle the next couple of years. Coach Haney calling him a playmaker. Hayden helping the sophomore out, moving him to the right side. Big third down for the Rebels of South. Bunt set to the left side. Play action. Hayden, 40, first down, 45. Spin move across the 50 to the 45. And who did he drag with him? Was that Vaughn? He dragged Joseph Vaughn for a first down.
Sometimes you wish, and I'm sure Sam Haney would agree, you wish sometimes he'd just get as much as he could and go down. He takes a huge shoulder there, you're right, from Joseph Vaughn, Jay. He's picking up big chunks of yardage, but he's taken a lot of smashing hits as well.
Turn, handoff, Weaver, maybe a yard or so.
Heath Hayden really has been the running game tonight for Sullivan South. Jordan Castle's had a nice game, but mostly from the standpoint he's been catching some passes out of the backfield.
So second out and about 6 yards to go for the Rebels. Ball at the 42-yard line. Hayden trying to cut back. He goes to the 40, and that's it. 3rd and 6.
Both teams had well over 100 yards rushing at halftime. South had 167 yards on 15 carries. Gate City 141 on 23 carries. And I'm sure both teams now up close to 300 yards on the ground. Big third down here. South has to keep the ball.
Hayden rolling. Oh, and
big sack.
A sack. Coming in, Seaver Elliott.
Elliott Seaver.
Elliott Seaver.
Nowhere to go. Good contain there, Jay. 62 for Gate City. That is Peyton Seibert really helped set up that sack by maintaining his position on the outside, his contain, to keep Hayden from rolling out away from pressure.
And a punt that actually takes a Gate City bounce out to about the 25-yard line.
Now 6:49, 6:48. Well, whoever's running the clock, every time the ball goes out of bounds or a play's blown dead, 2 or 3 seconds runs off the clock. Somebody's slow on the switch. But anyway, if you're Gate City, man, you'd love to pick up 2 or 3 first downs here and run 3 or 4 minutes off that clock if you could.
So 6:47. Well, Gate City would also like to put a few more points on the board, I'm sure, as
Absolutely.
well. So first down and 10 with the clock winding down. They'll turn, handoff, Vaughn. Oh, he breaks a tackle, look out. To the 35 to the 36.
What'd you call him, the milk truck?
Runaway milk truck.
He has been just terrific. Guys, let's go ahead and do this time for our hoss of the game, and it's got to be obvious, number 31 for the Blue Devils.
And by the way, he's not 2% or skim either.
No. He's whole milk.
Coming right at you.
Love it. What a game he's had tonight.
This time Bowen keeps it and only picked up, I might have got back to line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a great honor to be considered for the award we're going to give Vaughn.
It is. Prestigious is the word, Jay.
I only hope one day I can make the cut.
Oh, you're already a hoss.
I think I'm only about a hoss and 3/4. If I had to handicap it. Handoff right up the gut again. The clock turning. Third down. It'll be a long situation for the Blue Devils. Leading 31-28. 5:30 to go in the game. Huge third down here for the Rebels. They need a stop.
Cue the music. Joseph Vaughn, the official mark piece. Hoss winner tonight. He's about 3.5 hosses. Whoa my, whoa boy. I miss Keith Jackson doing college football games. Live from Neyland Stadium, Walmart, Tennessee, Alabama.
5 minutes to go. Turns, handoff. Here comes the Hoss. Vaughn, he's short, 4th down. Punting situation for the Blue Devils.
Keith Jackson, one of my favorites.
Watched.
John Stevens is one of my favorites as well. I have a man crush on John Stevens of the ETSU Buccaneer Sports Network.
He, by the way, finished 5th in the the college Heisman, the Jim Nance Award for college broadcasters out of over 1,000 applicants, by the way.
Wow, 5th.
Finished 5th.
Outstanding.
Injury on the field. By the way, I watched ESPN Classic the other day because they were showing all the good rivalry games. They were showing old Penn State, Alabama, Michigan, Notre Dame. Every one of them had Keith Jackson on it. That's
of course.
Every one of them had him on it.
You're talking 70s, you're talking 80s,
you're
90s.
Talking a couple Sugar Bowls with Penn State, Alabama.
Oh, yeah, 78. Oh, boy.
Then they were showing
January 79. Barry Krause stopping the running back for Penn State at the goal line to deny Joe Paterno the national championship.
Then they show the 89 Michigan Notre Dame, which had the 2 kickoff returns by Rocket
Ishmael down the sideline to the 50. Whoa, boy. Whoa, my.
And then they actually showed.
With Frank Burroughs doing the game.
One of them it didn't have. They showed the Miami Ohio State game, the national championship game. It actually was not Keith. That was one of the only one.
Yes, it was Keith Jackson.
Was it Keith?
It was Keith Jackson. Yes, it was.
I watched 4. I think there were 4
Keith Jackson
games
and Dan Fouts. Wilmar.
There were 4 games all in a row, and the first 3 I'm positive was Keith Jackson, because I kept laughing that no matter what decade it was, Keith was somehow still there.
He did Tennessee's national championship win against Florida State in the Fiesta Bowl, January of 1999. Oh, yeah.
So a 4:47, and we'll roll the clock. So Gate City can milk more off the clock if they would like. Ooh, another short hop. Nicely handled, low liner. Angled punt. And it will roll down to the 24-yard line. That's where South will take over. You know, some of the great end zone shots we have is for one reason, like that shot right there, is because we have a scissors lift presented by East 10 Reynolds.
East 10 Reynolds, Bristol Highway, Johnson City. Hey, we also sponsor our
look at Shelton up there.
Starting lineups. Celebrate. Don't forget about Celebrate, Jay, for bar mitzvahs, Halloween, weddings.
Halloween is coming up.
It is.
Are you dressing up this year?
I'm gonna try to come up with something.
I want you to come as Tim McNutt and do a bunch of pop culture references.
I'm going to have to study up on the internet for that kind of stuff.
Bunch formation near side. 4 minutes, 21 seconds to go in the game. South at home, down by 3. Heath Hayden. Takes the snap, fakes to Weaver. Hayden keeps it, trying to get to the outside. 30-35. Enough for a first down. So tough, these dual threat quarterbacks.
Oh, about to have a second edition of the Hossameter, it looked like.
You could do that if you wanted.
Yeah.
I don't think you go wrong.
What a night Heath Hayden. He's deserving of a Hoss, the way he's really, I think, Jay, made great decisions and taken a lot of punishment, but keeps getting up, and he has been the South running game tonight.
So Hayden with the ball at the 36-yard line, another fake handoff. He'll just push forward for a few up to the 38-39. And I like the patience of South right here.
Yeah, no hurry. They have plenty of time. 3:42 left. And I think they have their full complement of timeouts as well, I believe, Jay. They don't have timeouts listed on the scoreboard here at Carl Matherly Stadium, but I believe they have their full complement.
I think Gate City's only taken 1, and that's it in this half. I think. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the final quarter. Hayden dropping straight back. Now he's flush, tucks, runs, thinks about throwing, throws on the run to the 40.
Is it caught? Yes, it is. Wow. Again, Hayden keeping the play alive with his legs. Nobody's open. The pressure's on. He scrambles. Did he cross the line of scrimmage?
Well, there's a flag for it. I don't think this angle's going to show us. The line of scrimmage was the 39-yard line.
I don't think he crossed it then, Jay.
That's a tough angle from here. We have two flags, whatever it is.
That's very close.
Yeah, we just don't have the proper
his arm and hand can go across the line. He just can't step across the line.
Tell you what, look at the throwing motion, by the way.
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow. So
you can see where the previous
right
line of scrimmage.
I was getting ready to say before the sliding catch that I thought he was close to the line of scrimmage. Then it was such a great catch, we were worried about that. And then I turned around, there's 2 flags, which that's an illegal, if not mistaken, illegal forward pass is also a loss of down. You know what? Don't quote me on that because I could always be wrong.
Illegal forward pass on the offense. Quarterback was past the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. That is also a loss of down foul. It is now 3rd down.
You are correct, sir.
Great explanation. The advantage of having the mics and the ref to get that explanation.
Boy, Jay, if he was across the line, it was very, very, very close.
3rd down and 11 now. Hayden rolling, trying to set up the the tight end screen to Garvin, and they got it. To midfield, and Garvin's on his feet, 40. Down to the 35-yard line, J.C. Garvin on the tight end screen. Great call.
And the screen has been terrific all night. Garvin, boy, just kind of hides.
Oh, what a cutback.
Over on the right side and takes off to the 30, all the way to the 35-yard line. Well, they do the screen game so well to Sullivan South, and they have forever and ever and ever in this offense.
They'll turn, hand off, and look out. There comes the big fella, Hubbard.
One thing there, Jay, I tell you what. You watched Hubbard carry the football there, and he's got to tuck that thing away because Gate City is in the mode at this point late in the game where they're trying to strip it. He's got to get that second hand on it.
To 2 minutes, 20 seconds as they start the clock rolling. On a 1st and 10 from the, we'll call it the 22-yard line. Hubbard, handoff, 15, turning his feet, 10, ball is loose, and Gate City's got it at the 4. Gate City has it at the 4.
Boy, I hate to say it, Jay. What did I say on the previous play? Excellent job by Gate City to knock that ball away from Hubbard, who just had the one hand on it. As we look at the McDonald's I'm Loving an instant replay.
It looked like Morris's thigh pad came in and knocked it out.
That's Montana Morris, 42, yeah.
He knee lifted it out.
Comes in there and knocks that ball out, and that's the
Cody Franklin. There it is, fall on it.
Yep.
Boy, he's a ball hawk.
Third turnover of the night for Sullivan South, and Franklin, you mentioned, had the 3 picks last week against Tazewell.
We believe South has 3 timeouts here. So not out of the woodwork yet.
And if they can stop Gate City, they can get the ball back in excellent field position. You know they can move the football. And these fans over here on this side of the field where we are, Jay, are absolutely going nuts right now. And rightfully so. They played a great game tonight.
It was an explosion when the football came out and they were waiting on pins and needles, and when the referee, the back judge, signaled Blue Devil football, they exploded. And let's just take one more look at it. And again, it's Morris coming in. It's his right thigh pad, it looks like. Boom.
And he doesn't, the ball's not tucked in, Jay. It's kind of out to the side, and he doesn't have both hands, both arms around it. And that was an excellent job by Morris to come in there and strip him.
If you saw the end of that replay, Heath Hayden's reaction says it all.
But, you know, he knows, because he knows that Gate City can't stop them defensively. They have to beat themselves.
Watch Heath Hayden right here on the right. He's like, oh. He's just praying. He's just praying at that point. Who's ball?
Yeah, right. Neither defense has stopped the other here in the second half.
Turn, handoff, trying to get to their right side.
And you got to see, if you're Gate City, you got to, ball security is of the utmost importance. That was Dusty Clark. He needs to cover the football as well.
What an outstanding game thus far. Gate City 31, South 28. First timeout taken by South in this half with 1:57. If it's a 3 and out, South could literally have the ball at midfield with about a minute and 35 left. Yeah. Well, this is a great game, but let's talk about the next couple of weeks. Tennessee High at Science Hill. Then we'll be at Boone for North and Boone.
Oh, I hope there's a good spread at Science Hill with a new stadium. North at Boone, Jay, looking forward to seeing the undefeated Golden Raiders, and we haven't been over to Boone in a couple of years. South at DB as we get into October. Tennessee High at Dobbins-Bennett, and South at Science Hill in a game that will air October the 19th here on our Toyota High School Football Game of the Week. Of course, every Tuesday night during the season at 8 o'clock.
They'll turn, hand off, Clark. He's going to be tackled short of a first down. Or actually, did he get it?
Well, he's going to be very close, isn't he?
He's going to be right at the 14-yard line. That is going to be tell you what, they're giving it a look. I think it's going to, I don't think they're measuring. I think they're going to be just, I mean, if they're shy, they're barely shy.
So here's the play of the game right here. If Gate City picks up the first down, it's over.
It is 3rd and inches. 3rd and a football away. 3rd and less than a yard. And this will be the play of the game, and fans.
Well, Gate City's not going to throw the ball here. I will be absolutely shocked. So you've got to sell out, and you've got to put everybody on the line, Jay. You got to sell out for the run, and if they throw it, let them throw it. But I'd be shocked if they put the ball in the air here.
Third and very, very short, and a first down.
He's
Gate
got it.
City.
Wow. Not the classic quarterback sneak where the quarterback kind of drives into the line, follows the center and guard. He was very, very upright, but still effective, and he got the first down, and that's going to, I think that's going to just about do it. Oh, man, the turnover.
Outstanding game today.
Definitely one of our best, Jay, in 6 years. In my we're both 7 years doing this. 6 years together doing this, and I think maybe our best game. Now you got to try to strip that ball out of there if you're Sullivan South.
Well, next week's game is Tennessee High Science Hill.
That was one of our best, probably our best finish.
That was by far the best finish, and was a pretty good game altogether. We've had a couple nail biters, but last year, really honestly, didn't have much. 5 or 6 blowouts, if I'm not mistaken. But Gate City up by 3 as South took its final timeout.
For Gate City, I think you go into victory formation and snap it to the quarterback under center, and you don't mess with any more handoffs.
T formation for Gate City, almost a wedge formation, and they will take a knee. And the clock has not run. The clock is still not started.
Well, that's what in the world's going on. There it goes. What do you do in that situation? Do you stop the clock so they can reset it? And what do you do?
Well, they're taking their time to mark the ball for play. As you see there, they let about another 10 seconds run off before they mark it for play.
So I think Gate City will just have to snap it one more time, and that'll do it.
That's it. And that's the proper thing. That's all you can do. So now the quarterback, Bowman, will just wait until you see the back judge give the 5-second count. And as long as he does it with around 25 seconds to go, they won't have to snap it again. As soon as this knee goes down, Gate City will be victorious. The Blue Devils will hang on to a 31-28 victory. Scott County, Virginia, look out tonight.
They're going to be partying all night on Jackson Street in Gate City.
The Devils have stabbed the Rebels. 31-28 our final score. We're back with more of the Toyota High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
Hey, Billy here at East 10 Rent-On. If you need to move it, dig it, reach it, or build it, they got what you're looking for. How's that honey-do list coming? I bet you spent last Saturday working the yard instead of fishing. Am I right? We'll put the dog in the truck and drive on down here so they can get you what you need to get the job done. Instead of all day working, come lunchtime, you can say, honey, I'm going fishing because I got her done. East 10 Reynolds, Bristol Highway, Johnson City.
Rolling right. Is he going to tuck and run? No, he'll throw. Intercepted. He's got an army in front of him.
We take great pride in playing between the walls of the stone castle.
Now, my man, you have collected a high sum of sacks this year. I mean, you're over, what, 15, 14 sacks?
16 and a half.
16 and a half? Did you keep counting?
Hey, I think it just shows what kind of football team we have, the character of our kids, the way that our program is headed in the right direction.
Back at Carl Matherly Stadium, Jay Sandos alongside Mark Peace. What was an outstanding football game ends in a 31-28 win. Gate City on the road as they improve to 2-1. South falls to 2-2. Time to take a look at our play of the game.
It's Gate City.
It's got to be. It's got to be one of the runs.
Joseph Vaughn, one of his 2 long touchdown runs, winding, grinding, binding. He takes it to the house, 51 yards for the score, Jay. And that game was in the second quarter. And at the time, that put Gate City in a tie with Sullivan South at 7-7. Had a 14-all tie at the half, and I think the most exciting quarter of play we had in that third quarter. We'll come right back here in just a minute. We'll have our players of the game coming up next.
Right after this on the Toyota High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
Last chance clearance deals have a way of making Toyotas sell even faster. Sure, Toyota's the best when it comes to value, but a clearance deal increases that value. So the Toyota you want may be waiting, but not for long. Lease a new 2011 Camry for just $179 a month. Lease this versatile 2010 RAV4 for $209 a month, or choose a $219 a month lease on Prius. Don't miss your last chance for a last chance clearance deal. See your Toyota dealer now.
Rolling right. Is he going to tuck and run? No, he'll throw. Intercepted. He's got an army in front of him.
We take great pride in playing between the walls of the stone castle.
Now, my man, you have collected a high sum of sacks this year. I mean, you're over, what, 15, 14 sacks?
16 and a half.
16 and a half? Did you keep counting?
Hey, I think it just shows what kind of football team we have, the character of our kids, the way that our program is headed in the right direction.
Jay Sandos, Mark Peace, back in Death Valley and Colonial Heights. Gate City victorious, 31-28. It's time to take a look at Mark and Jay's players of the game, and I think no shock for either team.
Gate City Blue Devils, it's got to be that our guy, our hoss of the game as well. Why do you look better than me in the graphic there? Anyway, Joseph Vaughn rumbling to the house, 51 yards, and then later in the game, making some guys miss. Gets a good block there, but right up the middle, 72 yards for the score. Joseph Vaughn, what a night, Jay. Back-to-back games where he's had 2 touchdowns each. Put that graphic back up there again, guys. Why do you look better than I do?
Well,
I look like I'm scared or something.
I look great. I don't know what you're complaining about.
That's what I'm saying. You look great. I look at me. I look like I've been frightened. Heath Hayden, what a game for him, Sullivan South. He was the offense. I'm sure well over 100 yards rushing. There he takes off in the first half on a long touchdown run.
Threw a couple touchdown passes.
2 touchdown passes there were to J.C. Garvin.
Oh, great play call here.
And then the Shanks on the long touchdown, wide open. That play covered. That was a 60-yard touchdown pass to Drew Shanks to put South on top at the time. 28-14. But it's not enough. What a night tonight by the Gate City Blue Devils. Head coach Bill Housewright. They get the 31-28 interstate victory over Sullivan South.
Well, let's speaking of that, let's go down to Tim McNutt, who will have a chat with the Gate City Blue Devils.
As I'm here with Coach Housewright, who brought 50 Rocky Balboas straight out of Gate City right here to Kingsport, Tennessee. Coach, phenomenal game. Deep down inside, let me ask you this question first. Deep down, did you really think you had a chance of winning tonight?
Yes, we knew we had a chance, but we had to find some way to contain our quarterback. And, you know, we never did really contain him. We did slow him down a little bit, and we was able to move the ball. And Joseph, you know, he's just been back 5 or 6 weeks. He's starting to come back into form, had some big runs. We got Dusty back today a little bit, and he helped us more. And everybody else just picked up the pace and played their tails off. They really did.
When a team knows that the opposition is bigger and faster, how do you get your kids ready mentally for a game like that? What do you tell them?
I tell you what, we have physical practices. We go out Monday and Tuesday and we beat and bang a lot, and we do. Our offensive line, defensive line down there getting after each other for a long, long time. Our backs up our lead blocking, doing a lot of stuff. They're used to being physical. Wednesday we cut back away a lot and try to get their legs under them, and you know, it just comes through hard work. And these kids are dedicated and they do anything we ask them to do, and they've done a fantastic job.
Coach, very good game tonight. Probably the best game we ever had. Thank you very much. You have a good day, and good luck for the rest of the year.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'll get Justin Vaughn right here. Wow, this kid is a machine. My man, what do you got under that hood? What do you got under that hood? That's a Hemi right there. Hey, this kid did work today. My man, big day offensively. Give me your thoughts about the game. Upset tonight.
We practiced hard all week. We knew we could do it. We came out, we took it to them. The whole game, they got up on us. The whole game, it didn't matter. We knew we was going to have to fight. The whole game, we did it. We really came out and did it.
Now, I don't know if you guys read the papers, watch the TVs or not, but nobody really gave you a chance tonight. They said Gate City's going there and they're going to get squashed. You guys came through and won tonight. What do you got to say to the critics out there?
You got to take the team that works the hardest. I'm not saying, though, I mean, it was a good game. You got to take the team that worked the hardest and who wants it the most that night.
All right, my man. What are you guys going to go from here? I mean, you know, who you give the credit to tonight? Your offense did job. Your defense really out-physicaled them. You know, they really hit them hard.
Yes, our defense worked real hard this week. We knew they was fast. They really came out. That number 12 is a good football player. He ran, and our job was to stop him most of the night. On our offense, we really got off the ball. Today was the first time we became a team. We got off the ball. We went against a good defense, and we just took it to them.
Good job tonight, my man. Good luck the rest of the way. Wow, guys, probably the best game ever in charter sports history. Wow, superb. A-plus game. Back to you guys. I'm pumped. I'm ready to party.
31-28. Gates.
He's always ready to party, isn't he?
Yeah, he needed an excuse. 31-28. Gate City, outstanding job. And I thought Gate City did a nice job, nice game plan. They came in, they executed, and made plays when they need to, like the big fumble late in the game.
They hung in and hung in and hung in, Jay. And again, they're, you know, outmanned in this football game, but certainly they had a lot of heart and desire. And Coach Housewright says they're very physical and they get after you all the way to the end, and it paid off for them.
Well, let's take a look at our sponsors to make this game possible, starting with Toyota.
Our Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.
McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
Phil Bachman Toyota.
Honda, that is. It just makes sense.
East End Reynolds.
Bristol Highway, Johnson City.
Little Caesars.
Hot and ready every day. And Hardee's. And Thick Burgers, we love them.
Thick Burgers. Let's take a look at the cast and crew that made me want. I thought we were going to do the cast and crew.
Well, let's do the cast and crew. Come on, put the graphics up.
Hardest working crew we got. They don't even want to get acknowledgement, but let's take the time to give acknowledgement to the guys that worked hard.
Our producer is we love it.
Anthony Shelton up on the East 10 Reynolds lift. Kevin Collins on the sideline. Actually up on Chris Long. Instant replay, John, the video montage. Martin, of course, Kim Bentley. Conrad Case and me.
I still haven't heard what
Tim
Pooties
McNutt.
means.
Jan, Racer. Brent Herron in the truck this year. And Kim's back. Good to have
We
Kim.
never see Kim, though.
Never. Is she alive? She is.
Actually, she was at Elizabeth 2 weeks ago.
Of course she was. Let's look at our hardest working crew. They get here before we do, and they'll be here well after we do. We appreciate all the hard work. They make this broadcast absolutely positively great. We can't do it without them. Gate City wins 31-28. Our next broadcast next week, Tennessee High at Science Hill. For Tim McNutt, Mark Peace, the rest of the crew, I'm Jay Sandos. We'll see you next week on our Toyota Game of the Week, brought to you by
your Mountain Empire Tri-Cities Toyota dealers.